that. They've got the top brand names. They got Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero. Got them all. Old Stacy is the appliance guy. He'll do you right. Matthew and Eric are the appliance installers. Also, they are looking to hire some lead contractors. If that is your line of work and you'd like to work for the best company in town that does this sort of stuff, Collier & Thompson is the one to look for. They've got almost everything, and it's all right there in-house. No need to go to 5 or 8 different places to remodel one room. With Collier & Thompson, the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, electric, you name it, it is all right there in-house. They will take absolutely great care of you. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality. Online at collierandthompson.com.
This is defensive back Toriano Pride. Me and my guys will take care of the coverage on the field, and my friend James Carlton will take care of the coverage at home and on the road.
Thanks, Toriano, for protecting Faroe Field. We'll protect you on the road and at your home.
Online at carltoninsurance.net.
See you in Columbia.
Billiken Nation, this is Robbie Avila, and I can't wait to represent SLU for the Lou and our city's basketball team. Get your full season tickets now for as low as $125 or experience the excitement up close with 100 level seats for $540 by visiting SLUBillikens.com today. You won't even need my goggles, as there is not a bad seat in Chaifetz Arena. Pack Chaifetz Arena to cheer on an exciting brand of basketball. Buy your tickets now by visiting SLUBillikens.com today.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
Hey you, it's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com and let's give you something to smile about. Because hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s. And now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice. Thinking about selling your home, but not thrilled about going public? Check out Compass's Private Exclusives with Jeff Lotman. With Private Exclusives, your home is shown to a select group of serious buyers. No public listing, no days on market, just real offers from real people. Their network connects you with top agents and qualified buyers, so your home gets the attention it deserves without all the fuss. Selling your home can be simple and stress-free with Compass Private Exclusives because your home is special. Call Jeff Lotman, your Compass agent today to find out more, or visit the Lotman Group online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Craving a fiesta for your taste buds? Welcome to Rosalita's Cantina, your ultimate Tex-Mex getaway. Indulge in their mouth-watering tacos, queso-smothered burritos, and the best chips and salsa imaginable. Dine in on their beautiful patio, majestic bar, elegant dining hall, or grab it to go. And don't forget to check out their location at Enterprise Center. No game or concert is complete without nachos and a margarita. Rosalita's Cantina, where the sunshine never ends. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour. Come on in. The water is warm. Collier and Thompson phone lines just wide open. 636-9004-TMA. Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox 314-881-TMA5. And you can email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling. Email the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And, Doug, we've got ourselves what has been described by many as a gym dandy today.
What have we got today?
Jackson?
Anything new and exciting today? Anything on the docket or a dossier, as you would say, using the word incorrectly?
Yeah, that's the incorrect use of the word.
It is, yeah.
Wouldn't it be itinerary?
Yes, it would.
Captain's log?
Absolutely, it would. Schedule.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
None of those words are as fun as dossier.
It's 3 syllables. I mean, I can't argue with them there.
Yeah.
That's fun. Hey, Libby, Jack, thanks for the 10 minutes of commercials leading into the show. That's from Randy, Character, and Doug right out of the gate. They're not happy.
It was actually exactly 7.5 minutes of commercials and promos. That would be the exact number of commercials set.
It's nice.
Which are, of course, not set by me. Those are set by the wonderful people in our traffic department. And we appreciate them and the sponsors who record those commercials.
We got a new live one in the Schaefer Door Company text inbox. Oh.
Yeah, I think I was talking to you about him yesterday.
Who is this?
He's just the 636. Is that what you're talking about, the 636?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
What's going on now, Jackson?
Oh, I don't know. He started texting. No, he's texted in for a while, I guess. But he's picked a lane. Not a lane.
What does that mean? What does he pick a lane?
Not a lane I would drive in, but a lane nonetheless.
What lane is this?
Well, I think I think most of the texters were just driving down the highway, enjoying their time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Pretty standard stuff. And I think this gentleman or lady, I don't know, was also driving down the highway, and then they decided to take the old expressway. The old HOV lane.
expressway.
What are you talking about?
I'm lost, I am.
They picked a new lane, and this lane is one of hate.
Hold on, you're saying this was like these are like characters in the WWE, and Vince McMahon's telling them what character to be. Remember the Red Rooster? Doug used a Red Rooster.
Vaguely.
You got to do
what are you talking about, Bale?
He's just calling everybody a little bitch.
Oh, okay.
Well, come on in. We'll talk about it.
No thanks.
Bitch.
Hard pass.
Yeah, I don't know how Hubbard would feel about that.
Well, he's 636, so he's west of 270, so that's a red flag.
Hey, Flip Wilson, since you asked, woke equals being recreationally offended on behalf of others and using it as a shield to hide one's own deviance. Are you still triggered by Columbus Day? Go drown in bleach, cuck boy.
Oh.
And he sent that right at 7:08, so he typed it out. The show starts, then he sends it in.
Okay, he has picked a lane.
Today, Columbus Day?
See, you go, I'm saying.
Is today Columbus Day?
No, Monday.
We're not off, are we?
It was last Monday.
Last Monday.
It was Monday. It was 2 days ago.
It used to be a holiday, didn't it? Columbus Day? For kids and schools?
It seems like maybe it was
Not
at one
not
time.
my age. We never had off. Illinois would have off for Columbus Day. We would not.
No. Okay.
But look at Jake Reynolds is in the YouTube chat. Now, that's a different lane that he's chosen.
Yes, I'd like a nice
Morning, boys. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you.
And he was the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Was that August or was that
Don't know.
July 2024?
Don't know the months, Tim.
Because I feel like we're on a streak
July.
of nothing but women winning.
July was Jake. August was Caller Jen. September was the Ball and Beer Bitch.
Okay.
Nice. Doug, there's your... who's going to be the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year?
Well, I don't know.
Has Buck Swope won a month this year?
No.
Oh,
No.
my.
No, he is still eligible, though, to win any of the remaining months. And then if he wins October or November, he's quite live to win the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year.
So you'd have Chairman Kurt, was at 22, Chairman Steve at 23, but we've never had a non-chairman win.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I think you become a chairman after you win.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
seem
you get
like
knighted.
that. Yeah, it does seem like
You get knighted, like a sir.
Yeah, OBE.
Instead of a green jacket, you're just awarded the title chairman.
Yeah.
Did that lesbian from New York win anything?
The one you're talking,
The firefighter,
little firefighter?
Kara.
Kara? No. Nope, she didn't apply.
Oh. We'll apply this month. Let's make it 3 women in a row.
Is she eligible? Being out of town?
Yeah, I don't know what the world.
Well, if it's listener of the year, you could listen anywhere, right?
Yeah, that's not a I don't know what to say. That's not like my department.
Doug, what a cryptic answer.
There's some rules. I don't like answering this because I
Let's
don't know.
make them up on the fly.
I don't know because that's not right, and I don't know the full extent of it. But there are some rules where you have to be in some of the area to win certain prizes. I don't know if the listener of the year is under that umbrella.
I'll be darned.
We give her listener of the month. She could win that, and then we just save the prize back.
Right.
I don't think she's coming from New York to get it.
We're
Maybe
saying
she will.
she's geographically undesirable to win this award. That's hurtful and discriminatory. Now I'm triggered on her behalf.
There you go.
Can people please stop wearing Patagonia vests? My culture is not your costume. That's from Mr. Licks. Doug, you like that? My culture is not your costume.
There's nothing wrong with those. I don't know one, but there's nothing wrong with them.
Patagonia vest?
Kind of preppy looking.
That comes from Bolivia? Is that where Patagonia is?
That sounds right.
It's down in there?
Isn't that Polo? Isn't that the Patagonia bear?
You're thinking of Polo.
Bear?
You're thinking of Ralph Lauren. Patagonia is a different brand. They make more outdoor gear. And that would be a region that encompasses the southern end of South America, governed by Argentina and Chile.
Oh, okay.
I like that. Chile.
Don't say Chile. It was always just Chile.
Why do we have to live in Hoosier land to win the listener of the month? That's from Jugs. He's in the District of Columbia, and he's not happy. He finds out that he's ineligible.
In my opinion,
And this is called Hoosier land now?
I'm not positive on what the rules are, and I can't answer many follow-ups because it's not my department.
Okay, so you're saying go ahead and ask a lot of
No,
questions because we'll answer them.
No, how about I ask you the question?
Okay, I'm saying sure they're eligible. If you're listening, you can listen anywhere.
I'm sure if you go and register, there's always rules there that'll say who's eligible, who's not eligible.
Well, I think they would all be eligible.
You don't know that.
Well, why wouldn't you be?
I don't know.
If
I've
it's
seen
listeners,
it before.
We like to have listeners all over the
Not
place.
just ours, but other contests says must live in the state of Missouri to win this prize or something like that.
Really?
No, it's usually not Missouri, but it's in the area. I'm not positive, so I don't know. I don't think that's the case, though.
If we have a prize to give away, then it's be up to them to fly themselves in here. We're not paying for that.
If you guys want to award this chick from New York the listener of the month, I can take the prize up to her when I go to buy my linens at Brooklinen. Yeah, all right. That's from the 314.
That's how
So
it
does that mitigate the issue, Jackson?
Well, let's put that there, and then that's a placeholder until I actually find out what the rules are.
Clevie Wade, who I believe is in Dallas, says the fine print of the listener of the month application says you have to live in a flyover state. Doug, it's starting to hurt here.
Is that just anywhere that's landlocked?
I think it's anywhere between New York and California.
So okay.
Well, I know we've given away Cardinal tickets before, and the winner's been Dotem, who lives in Detroit, Timmy Tom, who lives in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
You know they weren't going. I think they gave them to friends.
Sure, they could have.
It's my birthday next Tuesday, and I'm also sexy woman. I should be listener of the month. Anthony Richards' sibling expected to return this Sunday. Thanks, and hashtag free perk. That's from Colts beat writer Brian Henshin.
Okay. Well, see, he's eligible too.
Is he? I mean, he's in Indianapolis. He's traveling all over the country with the Colts.
I think he'd be eligible.
It's a rigged competition ever since TMA Kiss Ass #1 won. That's from Fish the People. Remember Foster the People?
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, better run.
Okay, don't whistle on this show. I do remember that song. It was very popular there for a while.
2011?
I don't know.
I feel like it was. Yeah, that sounds right.
When did bands start putting "the" into their names?
Doug?
The Rolling Stones.
Well, in the middle, Cage
The
the
Beatles.
Lion.
Cage the Elephant.
Mary the Stallion.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah, that's Mary.
Megan.
What is it?
She has a
Megan.
sister named Mary the Stallion.
Megan
Yeah.
the Stallion.
2010 on Pumped Up Kicks.
Okay.
I started watching the Big Man last night, Tim.
Oh, yeah? How are you enjoying it?
I am on. How many episodes are there?
Doug,
I'm
there are
on
6.
episode 3. I know they did it before. I'm not giving anything away. I know they did it before all the allegations and of sexual harassment, all that came out. But when did they film that? Because Costas looks like he's 30 in these interviews.
I honestly don't know on that.
I know he's aged well, but he looks like a young Costas when they're not in the ring, but when they're interviewing him for this thing, he looks like he's 30. So I don't know when.
How old do you think he is, Doug? I'm going to go 73.
That's about right. Maybe
Costas?
I'll say 74.
I'm going to say 69.
No, he's older than that.
Doug Price is right at me.
I did.
He is 72 years young.
72.
So Iggy wins because we overbid.
Right.
Yeah, I priced right.
Yeah, you did.
Maybe he looks young in this. Not.
He still looks like he's about 50, if that.
Yeah, but I've seen him recently, and it looks like this is like 10 years earlier, and I don't think they filmed this. They started filming this documentary in 2014. So I don't know. It's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it is good. I recommend it to the audience.
Okay.
It's recommended viewing, Doug.
All right. Try to get on that.
Thank you. Well, you can call in and give us your thoughts at 636-9004-TMA. Callier & Thompson phone line. So you know anything about Callier & Thompson?
Well, I do know that Callier & Thompson is the place you call if you want to redo your house and make it look like a real show place. A lot of people doing their kitchens and the baths, especially as we move into the colder months now. You're going to want to get that house done because you're going to be inside more, and you want to make it look like a show place, and that's what Callier & Thompson
Pony
can do. They don't just do kitchens and bathrooms, though. They do any place in your house: a basement, a wine room, man cave, bar, accent rooms, fireplace walls, offices. You want walls torn down to open the place up. Callier & Thompson does that kind of thing all the time, and they do it the best. Service and quality is their number one priority. If they do a job and then something happens, maybe a door comes off a hinge or some minor problem, Matthew, the old service manager and appliance installer, will get back out there and help. The job is never done until it's done the way you want it. And Callier & Thompson's been doing it that way since the 1950s. It's a great investment in your home to take care of the house you want to live in. Maybe you don't want to move. You like the neighborhood. You like the schools. Your kids like their friends. You don't want to move, but you're not happy with your house. Call Callier & Thompson. Let their designers come in and show you a plan to make your house the kind that you would be proud of. They got a great showroom to give you some ideas. You go out there on Manchester and Baldwin next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Look over the showroom that's more than 10,000 square feet, more than 20 kitchen displays to give you some ideas and show you what they can do to make your home a great place. Great appliance. Maybe you want an appliance for the holidays. They got Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero. They carry the absolute best in appliances. Callier & Thompson, come home to quality online at CallierandThompson.com.
There it is. Callier & Thompson, sponsor of the phone lines, and Design Air is sponsor of our email of the day. Doug, have you taken a look at this forecast? Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, I probably, but I don't really remember. It looks pretty good.
I mean, all the way from now, which is the coldest day we're going to have over the next 10 days, through next Thursday, we've got highs in the mid-70s, and that starts on Saturday, and then just 60 and sunny today, 67 and sunny tomorrow, 69 and sunny on Friday, 72, 74, 75, 76, 77, 76. I mean, this is just glorious. People are going to be moving from San Diego to come to St. Louis.
Yeah, just to get some decent weather. You'd think. I don't know why that hasn't happened in the past, because this has always been, the crown jewel of the Great Plains, and it continues to be.
Well, thank you, Seth Goldcamp, for making it so. Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, fourth generation. DesignAirService.com is where you go if you have any air conditioning issues. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Online at DesignAirService.com. Seth Goldcamp, no upselling there, just taking care of business and moving on. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. DesignAirService.com, sponsor of our email today. Buck Swope leading 4-3 over JV golf coach Steve, the ghost of Gangster Pete's hat, Brian Henshin, and Champagne Jesus all have wins in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the month, as we are now past the midway point. And you got to wonder if Buck Swope can win this month, does that put him in position to win the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, which then positions him to become Chairman Buck Swope and winning the Listener of the Year?
It would just mean the world to him if he could get that title. You know how important that is for this gentleman. No one's worked harder.
I agree with that.
I think he's earned it.
Yeah, he probably has. He sends in a well-thought-out email every day. He's the show historian.
He is, and Sergeant at Arms.
He's even had his own podcast there for a
Yeah,
while.
Swope's Pins.
Right. So he's very deserving. Sooner or later, he'll get in.
Is he still doing Swope's picks?
I think I think he takes a little longer to work on them, but he still does great work on those. And some of those Swope's picks are just outstanding.
Yeah, and the guests even get a word in edgewise every once in a while.
Oh,
They're not
Right
losers.
there, right there.
The Rams
Right there.
relocation one is
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
People stopped wearing Patagonia vests like 3 years ago, and just because your father-in-law gifted you one as a stocking stuffer doesn't mean it's part of your culture. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. He kind of keeps Mr. Licks in check.
But those fleece pullovers, they still do numbers. Those like printed ones, those still do big numbers.
Are they under the belief that one of us is wearing a Patagonia pullover today?
This is from TMASTLshop.com.
And it looks sharp.
I don't think this is a Patagonia.
Only you can tell us
They're
that.
really fuzzy, right? Patagonias usually are really heavy.
They have different options, but traditionally, yeah.
Okay. Iggy, is that a Patagonia sweater you're wearing?
No, this is a Field and Stream.
Field and Stream.
That's what the outdoorsmen wear.
Yeah, I don't know where I know I bought it, but I've never searched for Field and Stream before. I don't know.
I didn't know they had a clothing line.
I'm guessing it's Last Act at Macy's, and I liked it. And I bought it without even looking at what it was.
You buy clothes without looking at them?
No, without looking at the label. It just, I liked it. It was a nice 3/4 zip. It was warm.
Sure.
And then when I got it home, I said, Field and Stream.
That's all right. Probably all made in the same sweatshop anyway.
Ooh, I just heard a
I
flush.
did too.
Somebody's bowels were evacuated a mere 10 feet from us.
I heard
Thank
that.
you, Schaefer Door Company.
I heard a more concerning sound just 10 seconds ago.
What would that have
I think if you were watching on YouTube, you saw my head pop up. It sounded like someone, either a groan or possible flatulence.
You think somebody groaned next to us, Doug, while having a recreational?
There's no.
Can we go back and hear the groan of the gentleman next to us? Tell me it was a gentleman, otherwise.
I can't tell, but I
That'd
don't.
be alarming. Doug, what if it was a lady groaning and she
I hope
evacuated her
not.
bowels next to us?
If I was the only one that heard that, I doubt it got picked up by the mics, but I definitely heard
Chairman
something.
Kurt, did you hear anybody groaning?
I did not, but I'm pulling up my YouTube feed right now to review the tape.
Can you let us know who comes out of there?
Yeah, did you see who came out of there?
Don't do that to anyone.
Well, it's a yes or no. Did you see who came out, Chairman?
I have not seen anyone come out yet.
Oh, they're still in there
They're cleaning up.
evacuating their bowels.
Oh,
It's a big one.
how large does the brick have to be before it starts tearing at one of your spokes? And you have to groan.
Listen, I had it chalked up to like a chair moving or maybe even something on the roof or who knows what. And then I heard the flush, and that's what concerned
So
me.
you believe we actually heard the gentleman's gas?
Gas
and
or a
then
groan?
we heard the groan, and then we heard the flush.
Well, it was either gas or a groan.
Doug, we're essentially doing a show in a restroom.
I can't tell, but that was
After 20 years, that's where we've ascended.
You think we should check on him, not to identify him, but
They're
just to
good.
see if
They
he's
just came out.
okay?
Ooh, they.
That was well done, Chairman. That's why you're the chairman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's why there was a groan. They were in there.
Bill.
Oh, you think multiple?
Group scene.
I know it wouldn't get by HR, but it'd be fun to put a microphone in there and let them talk to us while they're going to the bathroom.
No, it wouldn't.
Hey, guys. Sorry. I'm going to flush in a minute. How you guys
Don't
doing?
make the
Good show?
sound. Don't.
I won't. But just talk to us while they're recreating.
That'd be pretty lowbrow, wouldn't it?
Hey, guys. Ray Fair.
That'd be just about the lowest brow radio one could possibly do.
Chairman, have you discovered whether or not we heard a groan on the air?
No, let me turn my mic off real quick.
Ew, mommy, go look in the toilet.
No. No.
One thing about that toilet, it's sometimes it'll leave a remnants if you don't. You should always look before you leave the bathroom to see if it all went down, because sometimes I go in there, there's still toilet paper, and there might be a little floater. You got to flush twice.
Okay. All right.
What if you groan, though?
You still got to check, I think.
One of the most powerful flushes.
It is.
For
A
a
lot of
terrestrial
time-
toilet.
A lot of times the toilet paper was
terrestrial.
Well, because like airplane toilets, I feel like are that strong, but
Those
I
are
wouldn't,
vacuum.
I wouldn't consider that a terrestrial toilet.
There was no audible moan, but Jackson's head did perk up.
But you didn't hear anything, Chairman.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was.
Those
concerned
vacuum
about.
toilets can be dangerous if you don't get up.
Rectum damn near killed him.
Yeah.
No.
I've read stories where, like on yachts and things, people sat down and flushed, and the vacuum sucked their colon right out of their cavity.
That'd be hard.
No, I'm not sure. Anybody in my toilet?
Oh. Means there was a request.
Anytime Larry used to go live or host a podcast, it was always Tony Walters just asking 100 questions.
Timmy Walters.
Asking 100 questions in a row.
And Kevin Miller, too. Kevin Miller would. I feel bad for Larry because I think he posted last week, the week before, that he said, I'm going to stop doing it. Nobody's watching anymore. And he has it on there Monday night when there's like 2 people.
Oh, well.
Yeah, people aren't watching wrestling anymore.
Well, I think they're watching that in a big way, which is disconcerting.
I told him, I said, hang in there, buddy. If that was the case, I'd never do a cooking show.
Didn't you stop doing the cooking show?
I did, but when I was doing it, if I had 10 people watching live, I didn't care.
Did you run out of things to cook or lose your deal with Fabulous Fish Co.?
No, there was a period of time I got busy when I had like a bunch of Megan Meyer Foundation meetings. I had a couple of golf things, and I missed like 3 or 4 concerts. I missed like 3 or 4 Wednesdays in a row, and then I just kind of forgot about it and stopped doing it.
That point. Okay.
He called me last week and said, "What's going on? You going to do it?" I said, "Yeah, once it cools down here a little bit."
Once it cools down, it's just too hot to cook.
Too hot to cook.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll bring it back.
All right.
Kind of miss my fish. I'm sure you do too.
I do. I'd like to. You should start that.
Maybe I'll start it up first for you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask this question? And Doug would probably be the only one that would know this because I go to a stylist. Doug, I think, used to go to a barber, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Jerry the barber.
I saw this the other day, and I have no clue why. Maybe you know the reasoning. But there's an older woman who is trying to get this law taken out of the books. But there's a law in St. Louis that barbershops have to close by 6:30. I have no clue why. Barbershops are not allowed to be open after 6:30.
The only thing I could think of is that hanging out at the barbershop is kind of a cultural thing in the inner city, and maybe there's been problems there at night.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been on the books for a while.
Great Clips next door stays open until 7 p.m.
I don't think that's a barbershop, though. That's a
sure it is.
Stylist. I'm thinking, the things with the twirly things in front, those kind of barbershops. I don't know what constitutes.
It's still a barbershop. If they're cutting your hair, it's still, you could call it a barbershop.
Yeah, but I don't think it applies to everything because I've gotten my hair cut at like 8 o'clock from Maureen once.
Yeah, well, then I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't want people to have their hair cut after 6:30.
Yeah, and I think you have to stipulate what's a barbershop.
Probably so.
I don't know. I just found it odd that that's actually a law in St. Louis that barbershops have to close at 6:30.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw it out.
Okay, it's a nice little topic for us to discuss.
Not really. Maybe one of the listeners know why it's a law.
I don't know.
Now, what do you do if you're getting a haircut at 6:34? You get a ticket?
Well, sometimes if there's a law that you don't quite understand, it's usually some sort of safety concern.
It goes back to the 40s, and the older woman is alleging that there are discriminatory practices involved in why that came to be.
God, it goes back to the 40s?
Yeah, it's a 76-year-old statute.
Wow, I wonder why they'd put that in way back then. I mean, it wouldn't have been a racial thing back then, would it, to close at 6:30?
In the 40s?
But just closing at 6:30.
But I don't think all barbershops had that connotation like they do in the barbershop movie.
Usually they close because
hang out and talk and.
Normally they close because the barber wanted to go home after standing on his feet there for 8 or 9 hours.
It wasn't a law, but it was a law.
Yeah.
It wasn't his prerogative to go home at 6 o'clock and be with his family. If he wanted to stay open late, he couldn't. That goes all the way back to the 40s.
I don't know.
There's a lot of laws that if you go back and look, if you look at laws in St. Louis and Missouri, whatever, there are some stupid ones.
Yeah, all over the country, not just here. Well, I have to admit, I'm unprepared to discuss barbershop laws.
I just thought maybe you read it or you knew what is you're a man of
letters.
Knowledge.
Man of letters.
The same law also includes Sundays and holidays.
I never thought I'd hear about barbershop law, but this is truly fascinating. Now do bird law next. That's from, D- hijack from glove blogger Tom Traven.
It wasn't a hijack, it was a question. I saw it in the news.
Seems like it was an easy Google, Ken. That's from the Loomster.
Well, I thought maybe the listeners want to get involved. My God, all right, no more topics for me. Okay.
That's it.
This is kind of an economy question. Are you stocking up on bananas?
No. I can get maybe 10 bananas and get them all eaten before they're brown. Maybe 10. It's about a week and a half's worth.
Hey, you see what KG just did there? You could have done that before you came on the show and made our ears bleed bringing up a dumb story like that. That's from Mr. Licks down on Patagonia.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I don't mind the Patagonia. It's kind of warm.
But his culture's not your costume.
That's finance bro culture.
Oh.
Or athleisure pants also out. Cole Haan dress shoes.
I'd like to make a statement. Oh, Chairman Steve.
Okay.
And as the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, when he makes a statement, we have to adhere. When him says I just got to read what's in the prompter. When him says, "Can I ask you a question?" say no. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
And when you call in and ask KG, can I come on? I hope he says no.
Oh.
Chairman, will you say no to the other chairman?
No, as a chairman, I have to allow other chairmen on.
There's so many bylaws.
Yeah.
It's archaic, but it's the law.
Yeah, it's complicated. That's why it requires an extra 3 years of schooling.
Keep going, Ken. We don't want to hear about how Pale doesn't like hockey for the 10th straight day. This guy's not happy. He prefers the barbershop topic. He's done it again. He's completely taken over the show with some absurd ramblings about barbershop law and closing early. Nathan from the east side of Alton. And to Nathan's credit, he hasn't been happy for a long, long time.
Right. No.
Nate from Tallahassee, Nathan from the east side of Alton. Just haven't liked the program for the last decade or so.
Well, next time I go into Jerry, I will ask him.
Yeah. But isn't that in Kirkwood? Is this a St. Louis City or is it St. Louis County, a St. Louis metropolitan area?
He's Kirkwood. I just don't know. I just don't know. What if I want to get my hair cut at 7:30? I can't do that?
That's the law, bro.
It's an odd one. I don't know if we can fill 3 hours with that discussion, but we'll try.
Well, the Blues lost last night, and there was a goalie goal. Oh, my good. Gustafson, look at that. On the power play. Oh, above the Blues defenseman, and it's going to go in for a goalie goal. Oh.
Their pillow stacker scored as much as our whole team did.
It's tough. Early whistles and such.
Got some bad breaks there. Don't say and such.
My bad.
I got some bad breaks there.
Save that one for balloon party.
You got it.
I thought the first penalty was kind of weak. That led to a power play goal.
Justin Falk talking about that.
Yeah. And then the Cairo goal that was disallowed should not have been disallowed.
Early whistle, eh?
Quick whistle, yeah. But they still would have lost even if those two things had gone the other way. Yeah. They had some chances. They just couldn't convert. Had some open nets, just missed.
Kyrie with a lot of chances.
Yeah. Parayko had a couple.
Look at you, Peter Puckin again.
Did you
Look at
watch
this
the
guy.
game?
Look at this guy.
I watched the highlights.
Okay.
Best I could.
I saw a lot of people I knew there last night. A lot of
Jackson was going to Sichuan?
Yeah, I went to a Szechuan Chinese restaurant.
Are they open in the city after 6?
This was in the county.
Oh,
and
so
they were.
Yeah, it's freewheeling
I assume Central Corridor.
Yeah, I guess technically. I mean, U City.
Yeah.
Central Corridor.
U City, Webster, Clayton, some areas, not necessarily down.
Webster is Central Corridor.
Doug?
It's borderline.
Like that.
Are you taking the side of Cottleville here?
Cottleville is not considered Central Corridor.
Are Kirkwood and Webster Groves like the last vestige of Central Corridor?
Borderline.
Okay.
You know, they want to deny South County,
right,
but they're pretty close to it. And they're not. You don't think of them as West County, but nobody.
What's West County? West of 270? Is that West County?
Yeah, Baldwin, Manchester.
I mean, De Pere
Ellisville,
borders
Chesterfield.
270. Is that West County?
It's getting real close. It's just tiptoeing in.
Where does South County? What's the north border of South County?
Probably Highway 44.
Yeah. Right by the St.
So
John
Helen
County.
Fitzgerald's is South County.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But St. John Vianney, which to me, outside of the Peach Fuzz mustache, would be the patron saint of South County. St. John Vianney is actually in Kirkwood.
It is.
And you would have to think Kirkwood would be willing to make a trade.
Trade Vianney, let people call Vianney South County. Right. If the rest of Kirkwood can just be Southwest County.
I think they'd
or
take
its own
that.
separate entity.
Like some sort of martyr.
Yeah, Webster and Kirkwood would deny that they are South County.
But they're right on the border.
And yet, if you lived like in Florissant or Hazelwood, you would definitely think that's South County.
But if you lived in Florissant, you wouldn't care about that opinion.
You mean North County?
No, but a resident of Hazelwood or Florissant would look at Kirkwood and Webster and go,
God,
boy,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
way down south.
Right.
South
Yeah,
County.
yeah.
Can we not talk about the Blues? I'm so effing pissed about last night's game. I'd rather listen to Ken give us his ramblings on archaic hairstyling law. John Lithgow's Harry Henderson not taking the loss last night well.
No.
Doug, here's a fun fact for No Intel. Yeah, the boys are 2-2, but in every game so far, they've trailed by 2 goals.
That's just the way they want it, because that's the most dangerous lead in hockey.
Perfect.
It's a strategy. It doesn't just happen by accident. Last night, they just didn't have the firepower. Big crowd, though.
Yeah, was the crowd, were they into it? Were there people excited? Excited for the note?
Were any boys skating?
Of course. I kept thinking when they introduced everybody at the beginning of the game, I kept thinking, who are they going to save for last? Who do they consider their big star, save the big ovation for the end? And I thought, well, I guess it's got to be Bennington.
Yeah.
But he was like right in the middle.
Who they?
Braden Shin, I guess they did the
El Capitan?
captain at the end, yeah. You know, because in the past, for a lot of years now, it seems like they've had at least one guy who qualifies as a superstar or near superstar. They've had that big-time player that everybody loves. And I'm not sure they've got that guy now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they've got that one big cornerstone piece of the team that everybody loves and the other team
Robert
fears.
Thomas, I guess. I mean, but I don't think he's necessarily up there with some of the guys of the past.
Do you think
would be the guy? Kairu's got the highest ceiling at the moment, but that certainly isn't necessarily a beloved situation as we speak. Speaking of which, Jeremy Rutherford's going to be in studio, brought to you by Mark Hanna, coming up at 9 o'clock. In studio, Doug, taking 2-part questions.
Okay. But they don't have the Ryan O'Reilly or the Alex Petrangelo or the, certainly not the Brett Hull that they had for years.
Gusarov?
No, I wouldn't put Gusarov in that category.
Do you think that cornerstone player in the next 3 to 4 years is on the current roster? Do you think Thomas can turn into that, or Neighbors?
I actually think Neighbors could be, not necessarily as like a great player, but I could see him kind of becoming the face, the leader. Doug, he could have a heavy sweater.
A heavy sweater? Gosh.
That's a term Jackson throws around, and I just got to try to follow along.
Yeah, I stole it from Jamie.
Now, Radek Faksa has some sandpaper in his game. But he's kind of Dallas property. He played there for 10 or 12 years.
If you're a grown man and upset about the result of a game for more than a couple hours, you're a loser. Thanks, that's Steven Time, and he's going after whoever it was that says he can't hear about the Blues this morning.
Disagree.
What's the longest you've been upset about a game, and what game was it? Missouri, and they lost to an Ivy League school, Princeton?
Ugh, that was rough, but that at least was a slow death. So I could process it in the moment. Mm-hmm. Norfolk State, but I was a young.
Yeah, you were 14.
Yeah, I was a young man.
That's when it really hits hard.
Yeah, the LSU loss last year for Mizzou.
That one got me.
And the Georgia loss. Those two combined.
I was more at peace with the Georgia loss for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but they've still, if they would have won that game, everything was ahead of them. The LSU loss, but that hurt because they were playing so well in the first half, and then the defense just sold. You can't leave Malik Neighbors with 20 yards of green space around him.
I took the Game 7 loss in the 1968 World Series pretty rough.
Cardinals are up 3-1 on the Tigers, and they blew the lead, and Kurt Flood slipped.
Yeah. Jim Northrup hit a fly ball to deep center, and Flood came in and started to go back and slipped over his head. A couple runs scored. We lose.
But do you feel like Curtis Granderson slipping in 2006 kind of made up for that?
No, I didn't care that much.
What about when it was described by Billy Bob Thornton on the 2006 World Series film that I think I watched 300 times as a kid?
And what did he describe it as?
It was just Billy Bob Thornton has a really good voice for narration, and so him just talking about the parallels between the 68 series and the 06 series were really cool to me.
Yeah. Well, when it was 68 and I was a kid, it meant a lot more to me than it does now. And the Cardinals in 68 were clearly the best team in baseball.
Yeah, Gibson.
They ran away with the National League.
Was that Gibson's absolute prime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started 3 of those games, right?
I think so.
That was a 17 strikeout year, wasn't that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guys, Rams-Patriots Super Bowl is the worst. That's from our TMA
hurts.
social media correspondent, Doug's prison wallet.
Yeah, that hurt bad. Ugh.
Auburn lost in the 13 SEC championship.
Yeah.
That one hurt.
Game 6 of the 85 World Series.
Yeah, that's a nice play there.
That's probably
rough.
Yeah, that's a nice play. You weren't there. You were in Miami, I guess,
Yeah, I was in Miami. Yeah, but I watched it.
with Earl Weaver.
No, Roy was not in my house.
Shula?
Don Shula, he was probably watching it, but not with me.
Schnellenberger.
No, Schnellenberger would have been coaching the Canes.
You lived under, what, Rocky Aoki? You watched with him?
Yes. And he left his shower on once, and it collapsed my ceiling in the bathroom.
Did you go up there and hold him accountable?
I wasn't home when it happened.
You should ask Steve for some restitution.
I cried at the end of the 93 Notre Dame-Boston College game. I was 10, though. That's from the 314.
Yeah, it hits you hard when you're little. Old enough to understand what's going on, but not quite mature enough to put it into context and realize it's not the end of the world. There'll be another season next year.
Yeah, to that point, though, like it's not a loss in the standings, but the loss of the Rams, for me, it steamrolled me. Because it's like, the saying of there's always next year was no longer the case. That was tough.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy our misery.
Misery loves company.
I guess as I think about it, Game 6 in the 85 World Series might be the worst. Because they had it won, and an umpire really took it away from them, which made it all the more frustrating.
And then if you went to school in Columbia a decade later, you realized that you were dealing with a hillbilly little brother.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know about it at the time.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's the other team. But then all of a sudden you realize for that other team, beating St. Louis was perhaps the greatest orgasm they could ever experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't imagine if you were in school at Missouri in 85 and you're from St. Louis. Whoo, cats and dogs. Assuming the inferiority complex was there then.
Maybe.
Brad Pitt would have been there. You can ask him.
Doug, did he live in 84, 86?
I don't know.
On our Sigma Chi composite, I think he was William Pitt in 84, but I think he was gone in 86. Is that right?
No, I just don't. I see they're bringing back Sigma Chi at Mizzou. I did read a story about that.
Can we get the house back at 500 South College?
Probably too late for that. Someone else has already moved in.
There's a picture of Bill Pitt here at the Zai chapter, and it says 1983.
Bill Pitt. Hello, Bill.
It's amazing how time works, that when I got there in 94, and I was obviously the next Brad Pitt, that you're like, oh man, that was so long ago. And then in like 11 years, it'd be like 2013 now, and then you don't view it as so long ago.
No.
So for those Sigma Chi's who were there in 2005, and they had to be so excited when they would see me on the composite from 94, it's a distant memory.
Sure was.
But in reality, I was in that house in 1999 before it got kicked off for a
Is this your
sixth
house?
time.
I just want to show you. I found a picture the other day of Brad Pitt at the house. Does that look familiar?
Yeah, it looks like it probably is. Looks like the front yard there, Doug.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then 9 years later, I'd be getting my balls hazed off to the point that they would vaporize.
God, he was even beautiful. He was even
They
beautiful.
vaporized your balls?
They did.
What'd they do to you to haze you?
Well, I think the one that's he's doing show and tell on the YouTube. Go on the YouTube right now. You can see Brad Pitt. How'd you get that picture?
Somebody posted it.
Somebody posted it?
Somebody posted
Like
it on
somebody,
Facebook.
like we just started talking like 10 seconds.
No, I had saved it. Somebody posted it on Facebook. And I just saved it because it was a picture of Pitt from Mizzou. So I never know when I'm going to use it. And guess what I did today?
Look at that. Look at that. Paying off, Doug. It's like Dan Lanning knowing the rules against Ryan Day. Paid off.
And then closing that loop so no one can ever do it again.
Yeah, they're making that illegal now?
Yeah, kind of genius.
God, he was even gorgeous back then.
Doug?
Okay. Easy.
Well, I was a brilliant writer even when I was 17 years old, which is, of course, when I started college as a prodigy. And the juniors and seniors recognized this incredible talent. Probably were already aware since I had went to St. Louis University High School that I was a little more chosen than them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would trade my services, ideally, for oral. But in this case, when you're a pledge, you just want to be able to sleep. And I wanted sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would write papers, essentially as an indentured servant for the older active members.
You had to do their homework?
Aye.
That's not the spirit of college.
Well, at 500 South College in the mid-1990s, it was. And so, we weren't allowed to be sleeping during the day. And I had written a paper for, I believe, a fifth-year senior who was still battling through it.
And living in the house?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
He just drives by and then he finds an indentured servant.
Right.
And then has the indentured servant do his homework, as the case was for me. And, for the first few times of doing it, I would get into my bedroom in the pledge wing and after class, take a little nipper. I'd be taking a little nipper, sleeping like a little prince, a little nap.
Really?
Yeah, a little nipper. And I would post a note on the bed proper saying, this particular active member has granted me the right to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I thought, well, that'll cover it. But unfortunately, one day they were doing kind of a check through the pledge wing to see where everybody was hiding out. And usually it was over at like the Jones or Lathrop dormitories and sleeping and hiding there for fear of one's life. And in this case, unfortunately, the door swung open. I was in there taking a little nipper, probably sleeping like a prince, too.
Probably had a onesie on.
And
footy pajamas.
I mean, the combination of what was expressed horror and anger on the part of these two active members of the Zai chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And yet internally, I'm sure, the joy that they had discovered a small boy sleeping with a note posted, I have permission to do this. They knew that they were about to have themselves a fun afternoon. And so they yank me out of that bed, drag me down the hallway, down the stairs, and then say, here, if you want to sleep, you can sleep right here in the middle of the lunchroom while we all eat, and your pledge brothers do all the work cleaning everything up. And I fell back asleep in the middle of the floor.
Oh, you did. So you were fine with that arrangement. That's like the military, what they do in boot camp or something.
Well, the Zai chapter earned its rights.
Yeah.
That's why it's come and gone and come and gone and come and gone. And apparently, it's now all over our chests again.
And the end game is just simply to live in a filth palace and drink beer out of a red Solo cup for 2 years.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that you still don't particularly care for these people that treated you that way.
Nah, I find it amusing. It was all dumb. It doesn't matter. Stupid stuff. Who cares? One of my compadres listens to this program, and he heard us talking with the colonel about dinner recommendations for homecoming this weekend. And Jackson, what is that place? 44 Canteen 44?
44 Canteen,
There
which
you
is
go.
downtown, really good.
And so the guys from his class, they're getting together this weekend at homecoming. And they said, you ought to join us. I said, well, it's your class, and they're older than me. And I said, I wouldn't want to do that. And then secondly, none of them are bringing their wives or girlfriends. I'm bringing my wife. I just know the protocol. You don't want to be the guy bringing your wife. It's just not right. I said, I'll hang out with you at some point on Friday or Saturday, but I don't want to do that. You guys would vaporize my balls again.
Mm-hmm. Sure they would.
Yeah, and as they should. And if you're hanging out with like 10 guys and you don't get a chance to hang out, especially now that those guys are probably around 50, and all of a sudden a guy shows up who wasn't even part of your class and he brings his wife, it just changes the dynamic. I'm not going to be that guy. You don't want to do that. You agree with that, right?
I think you should show up like in a rented Rolls Royce or something.
Rented?
Maybe get Iggy's coat, his fur coat that he had yesterday, and just pimp around a little bit. That'd go over well.
They would love it.
We didn't have that kind of hazing at Sigma Nu in the 70s.
Yeah,
We really didn't.
Our thing was well known for that kind of operation. I don't know what it's. I mean, that was whatever the hell 30 years ago. I don't know which one is known for it now. You always hear these things about like gay crap and tying a brick to your love and dropping it off a roof. That crap never went on.
Oh, gee.
And the goat walk, is that what it was? Which kind of sounds like the human centipede. Actually.
Elephant walk is what I
Elephant
heard.
walk. Thank you very much, Chairman. Yeah. Were you in a frat, Chairman?
No, I started one, but I was doing the baseball thing, and I just didn't have time for both.
You started your own fraternity?
No, I was rushing one, but I was also playing baseball, and time was of the essence.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you had a good time in your fraternity experience, and you see a lot of colleges, including Mizzou, really crack down and just all but end a lot of the fraternity stuff that went on, it's frustrating because you remember what a good time you had, but when you hear horror stories about what's happened to people, and it seems like every year somebody drinks himself to death, you can understand why they're cracking down.
Yeah. That's the balance of it, because it is fun. It is mostly in good, the intention is good. However, one bad apple can really mess up someone's life, and then it all gets shut down.
44 Canteen's a taco joint, but it's very good. Broiler or McD's for the adults. Sycamore for the real libs, small plates.
Yeah, I'm not into Sycamore.
Sycamore for the real libs? It's only for liberals?
No, it's just it's more small plates.
Doug, you like a good small plate? You like tapas?
No.
Is that your thing?
No, I like a conservative restaurant where the portions are big.
Columbia's
Meat
the right
and
place.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
44 Canteen has delicious fries with those tacos.
Oh,
and they have
red alert!
And they have like 18 different sauces you can choose
Doug
from.
Soppins and fries.
You can get like a flight of 6
I'll have to
sauces.
tell
dippins and
my
dippins
wife that
and
we're
dippins.
hitting the fry Mexican place.
It's really good.
Can you get a cut of meat, cattleman's cut?
They'll give you a cut of meat and they'll put it inside a delicious tortilla.
No, I don't want meat inside a tortilla. Not a steak, anyway.
Steak tacos are one of my favorite foods.
Hey, Berkey,
What up?
remember when Farmhouse got kicked off campus for making pledges ooze their boy sauce onto ice cream and then had others eat it?
Oh,
Yummy. That's from Sweet Sweet Kai.
That was always the rumor. Allegedly,
I got to
don't
tell you,
know.
I have a tough time believing that happened.
They definitely got kicked off when we were there, and that was always the rumor of what the allegations were. But the
rumors are always true.
Unsubstantiated. All I know is they got kicked off. And when I say kicked off, usually you get kicked off for 4 years to let all the active members at that time leave the school, and then the chapter reopens. Much like Sigma Chi is doing now.
The problem is when the active members get really drunk and start doing and demanding things that they would never.
That's why they kind of
themselves.
phased out pledges living in the house.
Well, that'd be dangerous. I mean, you get sick eating that stuff.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
would
it is
think.
dangerous. And there's always a lot of traditions where you have to drink this entire bottle of whiskey or wild turkey.
And we didn't have that either, as weird as it sounds. Like the stuff that you heard about going in when you're rushing, and I was rushing Beta, ATO, and Sigma Chi, and I have no idea. I don't even know. Betas are still there because your son was there, and it's a great, that house is phenomenal, right? I'm not talking about
a lot of them are now.
And so you would hear about which ones are famous for the rough hazing. And so you hear about all those things. You're like, God, I don't really want to do this anyway, but whatever. And you hear about the horror stories like the Elephant Walk, right, Chairman?
Mm-hmm.
Elephant Walk, the tying a brick to your love and dropping it off the roof, and what are the drinking stuff. And none of that ever happened. And I think people would be like, what the hell? That's just the way it goes down.
Forcing kids,
But I don't know. I mean, at other places it might have happened. I can only speak to, but
that's where the big trouble comes.
I gather it absolutely happens because it's usually actives making pledges drink. It's just not what we experience.
Yeah, that's where you get in really big trouble, and you can really mess people up is when that stuff happens. So that was not a big part of what I went through either.
We had a couple guys where they would stand at the top of the third flight of steps, and right all the way at the bottom you could still see because it was kind of a back and forth. Yeah, not really a spiral, but back and forth. And they would crack an egg and try to drop the yolk from the third floor into an open mouth pledge lying down at the bottom of the third. That was kind of fun. It's funny just to see if you could land the yolk, and if you did, you earned your wings.
My baseball team down at SEMO got busted because they made us freshmen do the naked tarp run.
Is that where you undo the tarp when you're butt naked?
Well, we were out doing the tarp, and it was snowing, and the field was in a city park. It wasn't like on campus enclosed, and they had us freshmen strip down and run foul pole to home plate to foul pole, and we were just naked as a jaybird, and people in the park saw it and reported it, and they had to go through hazing training after that.
You ever, either as an individual or with a group of people, pulled a prank on somebody that you regretted later?
No.
I don't think so.
I was just curious. I'm sure a lot of these things they do after things go wrong, they figure, God, that was stupid. Why did we do that? And that was just dumb and should have never done that. We had a guy in Bermuda, we gave him X-Lax. We thought that'd be funny.
Mm-hmm. What did it do to him?
Well, he crapped his pants at one point in the restaurant and then went home because he couldn't stop crapping.
How much did you give him?
Maybe too much.
Too much, clearly.
But we felt really bad. We thought it'd be funny just to have him walking around the restaurant going, oh, gotta go to the bathroom. But I don't know, at one point he couldn't get to the bathroom. He crapped his pants.
Did you fess up to that?
I think we did.
Yeah.
But it was really, felt bad.
And you felt horrible about it.
Is there
That's
a
my
picture of
stance.
Iggy changing Leona Helmsley's pull-ups?
Were there any photographers there to capture that moment?
Yeah, we didn't have cell phones back then, so there was no filming or even pictures.
I'll make Kai eat the cracker. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Wester Groves. What does that mean?
Another thing that never happened, the biscuit situation. Last one, you know how it goes. That never happened either. Now, when I was, I pledged at Florida Gulf Coast, of course, and then transferred to Mizzou. One of my
What frat did you?
API. I just when I transferred, I stayed in the same fraternity. He did, and this was his own choice. He wanted to do it. He was a weird kid. He ate a bunch of goldfish. He drank the goldfish.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And he really wanted to do it, and I got a little uncomfortable.
What does that do to you when you eat those?
Nothing. He just thought it was funny.
I suppose you could
Gross.
choke.
Yeah. It's just nasty.
Do you feel it swimming around in your stomach?
Probably, yeah. It's probably inhumane.
Well, we do a lot of things to fish.
Sure.
It's not very humane.
You're right.
Sometimes you catch a fish and the hook's in their eye or all the way down their throat, and you think, I wonder how much they can feel.
Probably not much.
I hope not.
You're not a very good fisherman if you're catching it in his eye or his guts.
Well, if they swim into it that way, there's not much you can do about it.
You're still not fishing right if that's what you do.
Well, how can you be fishing wrong if you put a worm on a hook and put it in a pond and you pull up the fish and the hook's in the eye? What did you do wrong there?
How does it get in the eye?
I don't know.
Fish will be trying to bite whatever's on there.
I know. I had one on the eye.
Well, that's fishing with a worm and a bobber. That's not fishing.
What is it?
Fishing is when you using a lure and you entice the fish to go get your.
The lure was the worm.
Well,
that's what lured him in.
But you're really not doing anything. You're just like sitting there with a net and here's one.
So that doesn't quite measure up to your fishing.
Oh, that's when a fish will.
You're a fishing elitist.
That's how you get a hook in a worm's guts. By just putting a bobber on it or a bottom fishing and just letting it come and engulf it.
Yeah.
But if you don't fish like that and you fish normally with like a marabou jig or something like that.
You're a fishing elitist!
You will always hook it in the lip.
What about that porpoise right there?
You will hook it in the lip and then you let it go. It doesn't really feel anything.
Oh, I'm sure you did it perfectly.
Hey guys, I don't have a frat story and I'm feeling left out, so here's a lie about giving a guy X-Lax in Bermuda. That's from Beer Cans.
Well, it's not a lie, but glad you enjoyed it. We were talking about pranks and hazing, and I just thought I'd ask if anybody's ever had one go wrong.
And then I'll videotape me boning the fish.
Oh. Okay. No, I never gave anyone X-Lax. That's like chemical warfare there.
You feel like that's unfair?
Probably.
Like that's beyond the Geneva Convention?
I think it probably is.
Mug and Ass is the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, and it's 7:59, so we're still in it. Mug and Ass St. Louis Acura, Mug and Ass Burkhardt, Alton Toyota online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Hey, you looking for a new car? Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping on your phone, though, or your laptop.
Yeah.
iPad, Microsoft Surface, any.
That's how most people do it.
Any people. You can do whatever. At stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. And then if you want to go right to the
Muckety Mucks.
Yeah, Muckety Mucks. You text or call 314-252-0029. And now you're communicating with the people in charge at Munganess. St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. And those people include Jamie Burkhardt and Peter Munganess. And then in the service department, it's Ryan Seiberg. Wonderful people who we've gotten to know and we enjoy working with. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Doug, we have a title sponsor. It's Brown and Crouppen, matter of fact.
Their muckety mucks have all been in here. Terry Crouppen, his son Andy, and Ed Herman, all legal eagles, every last one of them.
I like that. That was with Robert Redford
I think
and
so.
Daryl Hannah?
Well, they're not part of the Brown and Crouppen law firm, but they might be. If their acting careers are over and they're good enough legal scholars, they could join Brown and Crouppen because they've got nothing but the best attorneys. They have more than 250 legal professionals working for them now, most of them here in the St. Louis area, but some also in Kansas City. Legal services done in a professional way, and it's been going on in St. Louis since 1979. You're saying, okay, I think I might have a case. I got rear-ended by a guy who was on the phone. What do I do? What do I do now? You just simply call Brown and Crouppen at 314-222-2222. You talk it over with an attorney there. They'll give you a free evaluation of your case. If they decide to go forward, they work on a contingency basis, no upfront cost to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid, and they've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. So if it's justice that you need, it's justice you will get with Brown and Crouppen. They know their way around the local courts here. They know the other lawyers and the judges. They know how things work in St. Louis. They are the guys you want on your team if you should need them. Again, the phone number, 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandcrouppen.com and make sure you let them know you heard about it. Here on TMA, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
If you're looking for a new home or you're looking to sell your home, I'd like to recommend Jeff Lotman at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. I was talking with Jeff, we're interested in moving. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, Doug.
No,
I don't know. I know we're negotiating on the possibility of subleasing your barn off.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
So that might be our option. But Jeff Lotman,
sleep in hay out there.
That'd be fine. Yeah. Like I slept in a little bunk bed like a little prince after writing papers for fifth year seniors. Getting to sleep in the hay.
Mm-hmm.
And we were saying, he was telling me, he goes, hey, if anything's really good, most of the time it never hits the MLS. You find out about it before it goes on the market. That's what you got when you're working with somebody with connections like Jeff Lotman, who's been doing it in St. Louis now 25 years, and working with Compass Realty. He's online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. And then he has those kinds of connections selling your home as well. It's Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty. And Doug, he's got the connections, and he sold over $500 million worth of real estate in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Are you kidding me? That's Jeff Lotman at JeffLotman.com. JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The more I think about you sleeping in hay in the barn, the more appropriate it would be that you would sleep in a manger.
It's good for you for finally coming around. Now, some people that might offend their religious sensibilities, but for others, they might be like, good for Doug for finally agreeing. Finally seeing the light.
Way in a manger.
Local broadcast hero, Tim McKernan.
And Tim has really taken his game to another level.
Okay, now we're over.
Now, hold on a second. It's fine to compare me to the Messiah, allegedly, but it's not fine. It's not fine to acknowledge that my golf game is up there with, I guess, Scheffler's.
Yeah, very much so. He's the only one that would compare.
Yeah,
Tim, you are the best.
Okay, stop, Jackson.
That was Jackson?
Well,
Tim's performance this morning is the best radio broadcast performance I've ever heard.
Oh, gosh.
That was Tim?
Mm-hmm. That was me reading my own texts. Sharon and Clayton is mad at you, Iggy.
What'd I do?
Fishing etiquette from the dude who lets his cats roam free and get lost and not return home. Also, shout out to Doug. It was good to see him at the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon and Clayton.
Yeah.
Well, that can't be about you because you don't have cats, right? Who's she talking about?
I told a story about my cats having...
Oh, you did have kittens.
At Georgetown Apartments. He let them roam free right there on the
40
Okay, so
years.
Sharon is unhappy with
Like
you.
40 years ago.
But Laclede Station Road's still a busy road at that time.
Well, I was back in the back. I wasn't close to the road.
A cat could still get out there.
No, I let them out all the time. They just didn't. Somebody stole them.
Somebody ate them.
They would always come back.
They didn't steal them. They probably got eaten.
They weren't indoor cats. They stayed indoor, but every once in a while they wanted to go outside. And I'd let them outside. They run around the courtyard and come back.
And get killed one night.
Somebody stole them.
They didn't get stolen. They got eaten.
No. I saw a hawk yesterday. It almost hit
Hawk's
me.
up.
It almost hit me in the head. I went outside.
Is it nesting season?
I don't know what happened. It was in the neighbor's house right next to me, and I was going into the back, and I heard this wings flapping. I looked, it was a hawk trying to get to a squirrel, and he had his head digging into this thing, and all of a sudden I came out, and the thing jumped up and flew right by my head.
Oh, no.
A huge hawk. And I think I saved the squirrel. I came out startled him. He couldn't get to the squirrel.
This is the squirrel you're trying to
What
tame.
trap was that? That's the hawk. Look, there it is. It's audio of the hawk.
That's what it sounded like, too. Squawked as it went right by my head.
Okay.
But no, this is like 40 years ago. How can you compare me having my cats outside that got stolen to me catching a fish? It's kind of a stretch.
Well, because you were claiming to be a humanitarian with the fish, when in fact you let some house cats outside where they were killed and eaten.
It's not my fault they get stolen.
They didn't get stolen. They got eaten.
Oh, by what?
By the critters that roam around at night.
Gerbils.
Probably the gerbils.
Owls, hawks, coyotes,
I didn't see
foxes.
There's not a lot of those in Georgetown apartments.
You don't see them because they're nocturnal.
Well, it was daylight, too, when they were left.
What's the name of a group of gerbils?
Like, is that a pack of gerbils?
Say a gaggle.
I guess a pallet.
It's a clan.
A clan of
Or a colony.
Okay.
I like that.
You don't see a lot of colonies of gerbils. You see maybe one at a time, one lone gerbil.
It's best to keep gerbils in groups of 2 to 4 unless you have a very large space. Large groups can become unstable and aggressive.
I would think so. Like a pack of rats.
I saw 6 of them floating in the pool one time.
Gerbils?
Yeah,
I saw 6 gerbils in a pool.
my little niece, gerbils in Florida, had babies. When I was down there, woke up one morning, my sister goes, "Oh, my God, help me clean this up for the girls come out." The gerbils get out and went to the pool, and they're all floating on the pool, like 6, 7 of them.
Gerbils can't swim, apparently.
Obviously not. They're fishing out these gerbils out of the pool. That would be a clan, I guess, or a pack.
Yeah, probably so. Mass drowning.
I have a group of 2 to 4 gerbils in my ass right now. It's from Ray King. I'm really proud of him because he's so comfortable with his sexuality.
No, that's weird and stupid. I don't think it's ever even been a thing. As much heat as Richard Gere takes about it, I don't think it ever happened. What is that, another hawk?
Gerbil sounds.
Oh.
Not as good as the hawk sounds.
Sound like a cricket.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were flying.
That's a flying gerbil. Well, wouldn't that be scary?
It would be. If rodents could fly, there are flying squirrels, but they're just gliding down.
Yeah, they're flying spiders. That's terrifying.
Barking spiders, too.
Yeah, what about a wolf spider? Size of your chest.
What's the most terrifying thing that can fly?
Oh, man. That's a good question.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's been like 120 million years ago.
Well, you didn't specify what year.
Well, now, currently. I wasn't thinking the caveman era. Well, that's long before the caveman era.
Probably some bird of prey. I mean, I don't think, like, vultures are a threat, but they're scary looking.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Condors, yeah. I guess probably a big owl could take you apart as much as any bird out there. An eagle, maybe.
Yeah, a hawk of some sort.
Maybe a bat.
If the eagle comes at you and you defend yourself and kill it, are you going to jail for that?
Bald eagle?
Yes.
I don't know what the rules are on that. Probably.
Because you can go to jail for shooting a bald eagle.
Yeah. You can get in trouble for killing any endangered animal, but especially bald eagles in America.
Doug Eric in the Central West End says, tapas are so lib, hard pass.
Yeah.
So if you eat at a tapas place, you're a liberal.
Kind of. You're eating tiny little bites.
Yeah, you want to be eating alpha meals like 2 pounds of ground beef in a Tupperware container and then a stick of butter.
That's an alpha meal?
Mm-hmm. So it's a real thing on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, they're called dog bowls.
I've never heard about this.
It's just ground beef or some sort of meat, protein cooked up, and that's what you eat.
And
no seasonings, which are pleasonings?
I don't know on the seasonings. I just said.
And then you put a stick of butter on the ground beef, and then you shoot a video and put it on TikTok?
Definitely the ground beef. I think the butter thing is like a newer trend. That
I
people
learned
get
so
into.
much from you, Jackson. I really do.
Chairman Kurt, you've seen these things, haven't you?
What's that?
These like dog bowl, like the people who just eat like ground beef, like 2 pounds of ground beef, and that's their meal.
Yeah.
And I think they call it a dog bowl.
Not familiar. But there is no stand your ground law against bald eagles.
There's no law? You can do that?
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
You cannot stand your ground. If a bald eagle comes to claw your eyes out, you just have to take it.
That's right. They're federally protected.
This is America, Jack.
Wouldn't you go ahead and take the eagle down anyway and just hope no one saw it?
Yeah, get a shovel and pay off any witnesses.
Right. Because I think no matter what the animal is, you have a right to protect yourself.
Guys, Eric from the Central West End follows the Liver King for health tips. That's from Mr. Lick, so now he's at war with Eric in the Central West End.
Liver King.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. He would just eat he was describing himself as primal and how he only eats like raw
organ meats,
organs, liver, heart, testicles, and he wouldn't shower. And then they found out there might have been some other substances outside of just the meat.
Yeah, I would think there was possibly some drugs involved there.
Right. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord the incels will weed themselves out with their diets. Tell their colons good luck. That's from Doug's prison wallet, and he monitors TMA social media for us. Does a hell of a job, too.
Do you ever eat something bad and then bend down and tell your colon good luck?
Probably every time I eat White Castle.
Oh. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken that did it to me.
Is that right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
You get those potato wedges, boys?
I don't go there
Seasoned so
anymore.
nice.
Dude, they took away the potato wedges.
They did?
Yeah.
The F?
It's
Are
all
you
fries
serious?
now. They changed it to fries.
Like, what kind of fries? Compare them, boy.
Probably closer to something like a Rally's.
I don't mind
but
that.
but not as good.
I don't know if I've had KFC in the 21st century.
I have.
Maybe I need to hit there tonight.
I had it we did it. I remember Sweet Sweet Kai was there. Because me and Sweet Sweet Kai lived in the same apartment, summer of 2019. And I think like at the end of the summer, we, for whatever reason, got KFC and they were out, no wedges. It was fries.
Were you angry as a hornet?
Yeah. And then the bucket of chicken by the time it got home was like wet with grease.
Oh, yeah, I remember getting that. Big giant bucket of chicken for a picnic or something.
Yeah.
There'd be 2 inches of grease.
In the bottom, you could see through the bottom
Yeah.
because of the grease. It turned
Leaking.
into transparent fabric of some sort.
And just couldn't eat enough. They have 8, 9 pieces. And then wonder why we're bloated.
Joshy Tuna's in the YouTube chat, and he says KFC fries are tasty, but bring back the wedges. That's Joshy Tuna, and I share his view.
Yeah,
but I got to try the fries, I guess.
The internet's up and
Where
down
is a
about it.
KFC?
On Page. So if you take right behind where we're currently sitting.
Big Bend in Shrewsbury.
Oh, yeah.
They used to be all over the place. Used to be a lot of them.
When I was growing up, there used to be one by LeGrand's, the neighborhood I grew up in.
On Chippewa?
Yeah.
I believe that would have been.
There was one on Watson Road for a long time.
Oh, let's go to KFC tonight.
We can't find any.
Popeyes is better.
Wow, take.
God, Popeyes is horrible, too.
No, Popeyes is fire.
It's spicy, isn't it?
You can get it not spicy. They have mild and spicy
How often are you
versions.
eating at Popeyes?
It's been a couple of years, but
You
it's
have to tell your
outstanding.
colon good luck?
They have that Popeyes sandwich, which was a rage.
That was, yeah.
It was good.
There was the best meme, like one of the best memes was when Popeyes unleashed their chicken and the internet went crazy for it. So, but it was like this Popeyes worker, clearly after a shift, just holding her head in her hands after 6 hours of serving Popeyes customers.
It's very location dependent.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
right?
I think with most fast food, that's the case. Like, it's totally location dependent.
Plowhawk does not like the McDonald's at 44 and Jefferson.
Yeah.
That
I've never
really
been to
gets
that
him
one.
going.
I've never been to that one, but
Mazalok, Drinkwitz, McDonald's at 44 and Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, it's a horrible, horrible McDonald's.
Trying to think of what's the Mount Rushmore of Plowhawk dislikes? I guess like the fan page.
Yeah.
There was 2 McDonald's downtown that went completely bust, closed down. One by Soulard and one right downtown. How bad does a McDonald's have to be to shut down? I mean, that's usually recession-proof and idiot-proof, and McDonald's usually make it anywhere you put them in.
it's probably a franchisee situation.
Oh yeah, it's the the workers you get to work there
Individually.
If they're horrible,
Right.
people don't come back.
Right.
KFC is hot garbage. Lee's Chicken's the superior chicken chain. Doug, that's from Hoosier Daddy.
Plowsy loves Lee Chicken. That sounds.
Where's a Lee's Chicken?
It's
We're going to
right
have
by
fried
him.
chicken tonight.
Kings Highway.
Jefferson in the city. I used to go there for dinner every now and then. Until I went there once and I got a piece of chicken. It looked like it wasn't a chicken. It came from a pigeon.
Right.
I mean, the pieces were like 2 inches big. So what is this?
Kings Highway, right by where Plowhawk lives. There's a Lee's Chicken.
Good morning.
Or used
Potato wedges are the blue road cap of the fast food world. That's from Manupal eligible. That's a take.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Potato wedges.
great.
How is a wedge any different than some other
It's
shit?
because it's
seasonings.
Seasonings, and it's like a steak fry. It's like a lot of potato.
Good yield.
That's probably the best yield of any fried potato.
Steak and Shake have the worst yield on the fries.
By far. I hate steak and shake fries.
So that Steak and Shake by St. John Vianney is still open, apparently.
Still going.
Yeah.
I had no idea, but they try to tell you they're not open. It's like in disguise that it's open. I guess the
secret.
workers want nothing.
It's like St. Louis Country Club.
It's a speakeasy. Yeah, it's the St. Louis Country Club of Lindbergh.
They've gone to all kiosks now, and that totally revolutionized it.
Is that right?
It's so
I
much
could get some
better.
Steak and Shake, but they got rid of the Cajun burger. I really like that Cajun burger, Doug.
Yeah, you just go up to a kiosk and order it, and then they bring it out. The waiters and waitresses at Steak and Shake was totally unnecessary. That's what slowed down production.
Yeah.
There's
I
real
think you're probably right. If we could really,
That's what there was no need for.
if we could try to write the obituary on Steak and Shake, maybe you're right on that.
Take those people who you had waiting tables, put them in the kitchen, and then just do the kiosk, and now you have a much more streamlined mode of production.
The Wentzville White Castle kitchen looks like a World War I battlefield. That's from TMA social media correspondent Doug
trenches in there.
Mustard gas, certainly.
There's a no man's zone.
Steak and Shake and Freddy's fries should be against the law. They're just flat out terrible. That's from Gary Pinkle's cell phone.
Agreed. Those little skinny things are no good. No good. But they have jalapeno fry sauce at Freddy's. That is outstanding.
I tried Freddy's once, didn't do it for me. I don't know. I'm willing to do it again.
Was it the fry that was the issue? Or just an
You had to
unremarkable
go in.
burger? Yeah.
I don't really
I told you I went to the Freddy's at Busch Stadium once when there was a
It was cheap, right?
concert there. The three of us waited in line for 15, 20 minutes to order. We ordered 3 cheeseburgers, 3 fries, and bottled water for each of us. $75.
Jesus.
That's a good deal.
$75.
Did you get your ROI?
No.
Let me use the bathroom real quick.
Raise one finger to say you got to go pee-pee or poo-poo.
Just wave and say goodbye.
Just one finger.
I mean, he's going
See if you
No, I'm
can-
going to try not
See if you can groan in there.
I'm
and
going
we
to
can
try
hear
not
it.
to groan. I'm going to be quiet. I'll sit down so nobody can hear me.
I can't wait to find out in the commercial break from Chairman Kurt who it was groaning in there.
There was I don't know if it was a groan or a release of some sort of vapor. Something happened. So there was an audible sound, which is redundant. But
is that vapor that's being released?
no, it'd be gas. But I don't think it'd be vapor would have like some more like a tangible liquid or solid in it too, probably.
That Steak and Shake on Lindbergh is open as a Vianney workforce training program. It's from Arbor Day, so that's why it's open.
Could be. I drive by it all the time, and you see like 1 or 2 cars in the drive-through lane, and that's about it.
The one on Hampton was always popping, always.
And there's one on Watson and Elm too in Webster.
Try a grilled chicken salad once in a while, you sad, fat pigs. That's from Ray King.
I think when people are discussing this, they're talking about like the few times they go to. I don't think people are 5 days a week rotating fast food restaurants.
Well, there are some. I don't think
I'm sure there are
this
some,
show,
but I would bet the majority are not.
Max Local Eats on Oakland is the only answer. I don't know it's the only answer to what, but there it is. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Rip fries.
It is wonderful.
Gas, yeah.
It's glorious.
Super good.
I walked by some of those concession stands last night at the hockey game. Man, that grease smelled good.
Yeah, they have a Shake Shack at the Enterprise
I
Center,
know,
right?
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff that
Here's
smelled
my
so
take.
good, and it was all like $17 for a burger. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
There's very few places, I think, where you can get a better cheeseburger than Shake Shack.
I agree, but it's an unpopular take, and I'm not sure what the reason is.
I don't know why either. It like I had it last week. Me and my girlfriend went there, and I was like,
Maybe I'm going to get fried chicken for lunch, and then I'll get Shake Shack for
we'll
dinner.
wash it down.
Good idea.
And I got to wash it down
Maybe
with
some
some
flapjacks,
Ted
steak
Drews.
and shake.
late snack.
But I had a burger last week, and I was like, this is it. Like this
It's
is
so choice.
good,
I can't
dude.
get enough of it.
It's so good.
Yeah, but since I enter everything I eat in my MyFitnessPal, when you enter that in, it is an alarming number of calories and the whole deal.
Because you gotta get a double. There's smashed patties. You gotta get.
You got to get the double.
You gotta get a double.
And how many calories would that be?
Probably 850.
I think you're probably in the ballpark. Here, I'll enter it in.
Maybe a touch less.
busy, but
Depends
I'll do
on
it.
what you're like. Accoutrement. If you're putting bacon on there, that's immediately gonna.
Double Shack burger at Shake Shack, 760 calories, 27 grams of carbohydrates, 48 grams of carbs, 51 grams of protein, though, so there's your value.
Yeah.
If you just take the bun off, it actually. I mean, it's.
Doug, you're a take the bun off guy.
Yeah, I don't
Sure,
eat
it's
buns.
the grease and sodium are not going to be great for you, but you take out the carbs, it's probably not the worst thing in the world. It's the fries that get you.
I agree with you, Jackson. It's
That's
a
what-
great take. It's a strong take.
That's what. If you just had like.
470 calories in the fries, but the good news, only 126 grams of carbohydrates.
Yeah, like if you just had again, it's a gluttonous meal no matter what. But if you were just to have like 2 burgers and water as opposed to burger, fry, and soda, you'd be in much better shape.
Yeah, tell people to eat a grilled chicken salad, Ray King, but I'm sure you smother it in ranch, you hypocrite. That's from the 636. I don't know. 636 and Ray King are at war.
But you just can't win here.
Spicy pube meat.
Okay, lousy.
Iggy's totally pooping. It's taking too long. That's from Bob Wagon.
I was going to groan, but there were people in the kitchen. They might have heard me, and I knew I was kidding.
Nothing's more appetizing when you're making something to eat in the kitchen to hear someone groaning
Well, I
next
was going
door.
to do it for the show, but then they would have heard, oh, who's in there? Oh, he's groaning.
Shake Shack doesn't season the burger patties. That's the problem.
Tastes pretty good to me.
It's from Clevie Wade.
I'll tell you what, Max is great too. And if you're looking local, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Max
glorious.
But they're similar. They're very similar, smash burger style. Potato bun.
I think I told you I went to that Shake Shack in Chesterfield once.
Oh yeah. You had trouble ordering, right?
Had trouble ordering on the iPad. Then they said, "Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Just tell us what you want." So then I ordered like an ice cream, a chocolate ice cream. And it didn't come, and the people who I with had already eaten, and they were done. I'm still waiting 15 minutes
That's an
later.
awkward spot.
So then I went back and said, I don't want the ice cream. Can I just have my money back? They said, here's your ice cream. I don't want it now. I wanted it 20 minutes ago. So I had to get a refund on my ice cream.
Did you take a little lick?
I don't want to have to learn their computer software system to order an ice cream.
By and large, if I'm taking out food, it's almost always I order online ahead of time. Just because the convenience.
Well, yeah, if you're taking it out.
Arriving. Yeah.
I was eating it there.
But sometimes even if I know I'm going to eat it there, I'll still order ahead.
Even when you're at Topgolf, you stop and say, I'm going to put in my order.
Well, if I know I'm going to go there, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Doug's tired of you.
It doesn't seem very real world to me.
It's very Ledoux.
You go to Shake Shack, you really probably haven't planned it out all day. You just go.
Shake Shack is like the closest fast food restaurant to Ledoux. Because I think that one on Clayton there is, or off Ledoux there, is not technically Ledoux, but it's right next to it.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Doug, are you going to get KFC or Shake Shack tonight?
I'm not sure I could live through KFC. And I'm still mad at Shake Shack Chesterfield branch.
I know I wanted to go the other
probably
day.
neither.
Last week, because I saw a commercial with Deion Sanders talking about the Prime Special. I don't know if it was Tuesdays or Thursdays, but it's 8 pieces of chicken for $8.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But I forgot what day it is. One of those days has the Prime Special.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, that sounds good for $8, 8 pieces.
Yeah.
That'd be for dinner tomorrow night, too.
You could feed 2 or 3 people with that.
Yeah, I forgot what day it was, though.
Even though they're woke AF, Shake Shack's so good. That's American the Central West End. Shake Shack's woke?
I don't know. I don't. They weren't very woke to not take my order, not deliver it to me.
Sounds like they were sleeping.
They only allowed it because they agreed not to do a drive-through. Mr. Licks.
But I don't think it's technically in Ledoux. I think it's technically Clayton.
He says it's technically Ledoux. Mr. Licks would know. That guy's
wouldn't.
Ledoux
Yeah,
through
he
and
works
through.
there.
Oh, Bill.
Does Clayton have fast food restaurants?
Yeah, I think. Actually.
They have a Straub's.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like necessarily a rule, but they have so many restaurants in that downtown area. Even if they doesn't have a drive-through, it's still they might have like would you consider Chipotle fast food? I wouldn't, but
Oh, I think that's fast food. Yeah.
I think there's a sort of connotation with fast food that Chipotle is kind of outside of. But either way, I think they have a Chipotle. So
Okay. Oh. Huh. We got them in Sunset Hills. We're lousy with fast food in Sunset Hills.
Manchester Shake Shack has a drive-through. That's from Flocky the Smurf.
that's the new one, right? That's the that's right by Munganest.
Yeah. Hey guys, Eric in the Central West End only eats KFC to own the libs. That's from Big Tuft.
That's right.
No,
that
it's
really
very good.
sends a political message when you go to KFC. This has all kinds of. There's policy implications with that.
Unreal.
All right, it's 8:25. We got to shut down the 7 o'clock hour, which is brought to you by Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. Fisher Window and Door Store sponsors the 8 o'clock hour. That's coming your way. And then at 9 o'clock, in our 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour, Jeremy Rutherford in studio, brought to you by Mark Hanna, taking 2-part questions. Why a disappointing start to the home portion of the campaign for the Blues last night? And Doug, no Spurgeon or Erickson Ack, and you would have thought an opportunity for the Blues to capitalize, and why their netminder scored just as many goals as the Blues did. Disappointing. Jeremy Rutherford will hold them accountable at 9
Okay,
o'clock
I
with
hope
your
he
two-part
does. That'll
questions.
be really blessed.
Design Air Heating and Cooling email today at 9:50. Then Jackson and I go down the hallway at 10 o'clock. I don't know. Do our best. What do we got?
Wide Berth Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that sounds like a weekend recap.
Well, we'll probably discuss the Blues game from last night, and then some other topics as well. This thing is all over the place.
What's wrong with your stick?
See, you'd think it's a clip-on thing, but it's definitely a slide-on.
Yeah.
Either way, no one cares about that.
talking
We'll be
about
talking Blue Note.
piece
We'll be
of America.
talking football.
It's the sport of kings.
We'll be talking,
Better than diamond rings. That's why we're here to sing.
Number of topics. We'll definitely play that Jerry Jones audio
Wildcats.
on Balloon Party.
Nice.
So it'll be a good show.
All right.
What'd Jerry Jones say?
Oh, we'll tell you on the other side of the break.
Yeah, he lit the radio on fire yesterday.
He did.
Yeah, we'll have that audio. He's holding people accountable. We're hosting shows. It's next here on TMA, brought to you by Brown and Crouppen.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Why Brown and Crouppen? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest, the strong voice, and advocate. Why Brown and Crouppen? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you.
That's why Brown and Crouppen. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
Hey, you. It's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com and let's give you something to smile about. Because hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
Listeners ought to check out Collier & Thompson, support the sponsors, and have the best contractors in St. Louis work on your kitchen remodel if that's what you want, or bathroom remodel, basement, wine room, whatever. Collier & Thompson does it all, and these are people that you can trust. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's not always that common for people in this line of work. They won a Torch Award for Ethics from the Better Business Bureau. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality. Online at collierandthompson.com.
This is Eric Conley, the founder of Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, our substance abuse treatment goes beyond mere recovery. It's about reclaiming lives filled with purpose, joy, and connection. Our dedicated facility is more than just a place of healing. It's a beacon of hope for individuals seeking to reintegrate into society and thrive in their work, family, and community roles. Our team is ready to help. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor. It does not provide tax advice.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. Yeah, this is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge, newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Hello, it's me, Tom Schmidt. I'm happy to tell you about Salt and Smoke and all the...
I'm going to let you finish, Tom, but first, why don't you take a break, okay? You've been doing this for 57 years. Have you had time to think about that? Waffle cones, World's Fair? No. Lean brisket, popovers, Cracker Mac, whiskeys, bourbons, custom cocktails, maybe even wings trashed. I don't know. But that doesn't matter if you don't accept my love, Tom. Will you accept my love? Will you kiss me?
Salt and Smoke.
Oh, and Iggy should quit.
TMA brings you the 3rd annual TMA Trivia Night, Friday, November 15th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30. All kinds of trivia, including sports, entertainment, St. Louis-centric, TMA round thrown in there too. All hosted by the guys from TMA. Get single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 8 a.m. and cost $50 a person. Portions of the proceeds will go to St. Gabe's. Ticket includes food from Heavy Smoke Barbecue, plus beer, canned cocktails, and seltzers from Show Me Beverages while supplies last. Please drink responsibly and feel free to bring your own food and beverages too. Find out more at tmastl.com. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
You gotta be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Here we go, Doug.
So many pennies, we should hang them from the arch. I love my birds on my chest, I love my birds on my hat.
I can smell bowel. I wanted to use the restroom during the break. It was locked the whole time. And now I feel like the fragrance might have seeped in.
Oh, no.
I could be off. Now, if you guys don't smell it, then maybe...
I don't.
Maybe it's in my head that's what was going on and I couldn't use Little Wizards.
I don't smell much of anything, actually. Anymore.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't smell it.
It has to really be foul for me to smell it.
We talking about the playoffs, so you know we brought our bats. Yeah, who we got on deck?
I put some spray in there. Put some hand cream in there, but they should probably put some.
You think there's raucous bowel movements?
Well, if you take a deuce
like that?
if you take a deuce in there, you should just spray some Febreze before you get out.
That's got to be a defecation-free bathroom.
I gave it a sniff test. You're good to go.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Jeremy Rutherford is going to be with us at 9 o'clock. 2-part questions. He's brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. This is the Fisher Window and Door Story 8 o'clock hour on TMA. This program is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. And you're welcome to call in. And then you can dictate the content of the show. Because what we've discovered is we got a really loyal audience who hates everything we talk about.
Right. Listen every day just to be mad at us.
636-9004-TMA. That's how you can call in. And then you can control what we talk about. Now you can text in. I guess theoretically you can do it, but I mean, Doug, I can't read every text.
No, you
now,
can't.
if you just want to read them, I mean, it's sitting there for you. You can read whatever. You see how they come in. They come in fast and furious.
One after the next.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the texts were just sent in at 8:25 alone. Now we got 8:34, and here they come. It's Eric and the Sedge. What's in the life coach, the unknown DJ.
Okay. And some of these people are giving us the business.
They are. I would say about 60 to 70% are giving us the business.
And we're sensitive.
We are. Thank you. Schaefer Door Company sponsors the text inbox. Design Air sponsors the email of the day. Let's see. The best part of the La Russa era of the Cardinals is that they won so much you always knew your tradesman hole could be open at patios for dirt play. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom?
Oh. She'd go to patios during a game, after a game for dirt play?
With her tradesman hole?
What's a tradesman hole?
Clip it off.
Guess.
Tradesman? Like she's a carpenter or something? A tradesman.
I've never heard the term. I have to be frank with you.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Maybe somebody that makes a lot of trades.
Jose Luck.
Why would that be a hole? You talked about a tradesman hole.
Your soul
My hole.
Come on, Hoffman.
I'm just guessing. I have no clue what it is.
That's a nice hole, Bill.
That self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom is, she's very promiscuous.
And by self-made, she married into money, I guess? That'd be one way to make it yourself, wouldn't it?
I guess by definition.
Well, they always say you can make more money in 10 seconds at the altar than you can in a lifetime of work.
Jackson Buck Swope's holding you accountable on the TMA fan page on Facebook. Everybody ought to join it. There's about 300 people in the queue. Oh, on the number, 300 member requests. How about that, Doug?
Nice. Yeah, I said accept all one day and see what happens.
Well, that's what Ed Herman told us to do.
We did that.
And it really didn't cause much problem. There was one guy who was, I don't know what the term would be.
I don't build
a live one.
I don't build the numbers.
Oh, that'd be huge.
Sell it.
I think, Doug, you get a bonus if we get members on a Facebook page.
That's my understanding, yeah. Sizable, too.
Buck Swope says, real proud moment for Horton Watkins when Libby Jack revealed he didn't know the Shake Shack and Ladue Crossing was in Ladue. Note, the Ladue Crossing Great Clips is open until 7 p.m. That's from Buck Swope.
I know that it's called Ladue Crossing, but I believe that's a reference to the road it sits on, not the area. Because when you drive down Ladue, heading back towards like St. Louis Country Club, there's a sign that says "Welcome to Ladue." So I always was under the impression that it was outside of. But I mean, these are municipality borders that are totally obviously made up, as I guess all borders are. But I was always under the impression that it was truly Clayton, because like the center of Clayton is just a stone's throw away across Ladue Road there.
But you don't want anything to do with a fast food restaurant in your Ladue
No, I don't. I don't give a damn. But I'm not really from Ladue. But again, these are made up borders.
Does Olivet have fast food?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yes, there is a McDonald's in Olivet.
What about a Chevy's Fresh Mix?
Yeah, but do you consider? I mean, they have waiters and waitresses. That's not really a
good take. Is that the only Chevys left?
It's the only one I've ever known.
Doug, you ever get to Chevy's Fresh?
No.
My father just texted me that the Ladue police patrol that crossing, so I guess maybe it is Ladue.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah. Well,
All right.
It shines off the rose.
I mean, I know it's in Ladue Crossing. I mean, I lived there my whole life, but whatever.
Was Manchester Road, I'm sorry, Tim. Was Manchester Road named before the city of Manchester?
That's crowdsourcing right there, bro. I assume it probably was.
I'm just curious. It's Manchester, Missouri, and then Manchester goes from, my God, Manchester goes forever.
Starts in the city there.
The self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom strikes me as a gal who bangs guys in her home theater while her husband's at work. That's from Eric in the Central West End. What percentage of women who live in Ladue bang guys in their home theater while their husband's at work? What do you think, Doug?
0.5% in the home theater, if that's the qualifier.
What, just about in general, like after the workout and then the trip to Starbucks?
1%.
Okay, so now we're moving. Now we've doubled.
If your husband is so wealthy that he's got you living in a fabulous home in Ladue, you're probably less likely to want to mess that up.
God, I don't know on that.
Well, you wouldn't mess it up even if he caught you cheating. You'd get divorced and you'd still get half.
That's where I think Icky's right on target.
So what do you got to lose? I'm going to have
free
fun.
rolling, baby. He's free rolling. He's right. He's right.
I would think the nicer, more upscale areas, cheating is less common than in the.
You think it's more of an Hoosier activity?
Middle class. I think it is. Yeah.
No, I think it's more the rich people cheating.
I don't think it is. Because they have so much to lose.
What do they have to lose?
Half of everything they own.
But it's still free rolling. You still get half.
Well, you can live very well until you lose half of what you own, and then maybe not live so well.
We're talking about women cheating.
Lose your standard of living.
We're talking about
the breadwinner, the spouse of the breadwinner.
Yeah, the stay-at-home Ladue mom who...
Or stay-at-home Ladue
says,
dad, like Mr. Mom, Michael Keaton. Remember that Whoopie?
No.
Is that different than a Weeble Wobble?
It is.
But they don't fall down.
That's correct.
Well, the stay-at-home Ladue mom is actually a dude sitting in his bedroom with his skid-marked underwear on, texting in the morning, drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah, now that I would agree on.
Eric in the Central West End reminds me of the guy shooting on females in front of his buddies, but taking home a burly wolf for some scat play.
Wolf?
It's from the Dover Soul.
Burly wolf.
What's a burly wolf?
I don't know.
10% is the over-under, and I'm shipping the over on rich, bored housewives cheating. That's from the unknown. So 1 out of every 10 is cheating.
I don't think so.
Jackson, what do you think? I mean, you're close
way
to the
less.
wealth.
Way
less.
Way less.
But see, you view the world through a beautiful lens.
I mean, maybe, but I just maybe have a. I mean, I know it happens, but like from people I know, I only know like one, maybe two stories of something.
Oh,
like
Herb
that
Zex?
happening. No. I'm talking like grown adults, like in their 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
What are you considering a wealthy area? Or are we just talking Ladue?
I was just kind of that whole area. We'll do Frontenac.
I can only go by personal experience. I know I've had sex with a few wealthy married women.
Well, you're the unicorn who has anyone you want, especially in the wealthy areas.
Lady Sonia's teacup's out of her mind. She says, "Oh my God, it's way more than 10%." And Doug, I think that's 5 or 6 exclamation points after the OMG.
I don't think so.
I think 10% is a good number.
I wouldn't think it is. I think that's too high. Way
Do you
too
think?
high.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think the number is higher? Percentage is higher or lower in 2024 than it was in 1994?
Lower.
I'd say higher. I'd say higher.
I just think with
The internet makes it easier.
that, but then
But then at the same time, the ability to track.
It's a catch-22. Like you can connect with people easier, but there's another side to that coin where then people can find you easier.
You know, I have a
Track
lot
you
of women who want to be my gumas.
I'm sure. Yeah, they're lined up from here to next week.
Thank you. But I'm trying to activate. I've got a few Cricket burners, and I'm having a tough time shaking my wife's trail. You know,
Are you? She's constantly on. You got a tracking device on your car.
Absolutely. Where were you? I was in the basement, as always.
Yeah. Then you forget to crush your burner, and
Yeah,
now you're
exactly.
screwed.
Yeah.
See that's what I would think.
But wouldn't they even find out about a burner phone? You got to pay for it with a credit card, don't you?
Cash.
And where do you go to get these? Is that a Walmart thing?
Yeah, you could probably get a burner at any like Walgreens,
Go to
CVS.
7-Eleven. They're kind of behind the counter.
Then they're
Is that right? Really? There are burner phones behind the counter at 7-Eleven? It says burner phones.
Well, it's just a.
I don't know if they marketed it
You
as
just buy a
that.
normal cell phone.
And aren't they going to send you a bill to your house?
No,
Your burner?
If you pay in cash, then you buy like 100 minutes on a burner phone.
Chairman Stephen Wildwood actually has the numbers. He said 30% are cheating.
Baloney.
And only 10% get caught. Wow.
So I think we need to make a line of demarcation here. Like cheating and has cheated. Like actively cheating versus
Well, that's
has
nice,
cheated.
Jackson. That's nice.
Because
That's
there might
really
have been
nice.
one night, in the early aughts. Maybe you're in Cabo. Maybe you're with
Girls'
some
trip,
girlfriends,
bachelorette party.
Maybe things got away from you.
Tee-hee-hee.
Trip to Gatlinburg with 17 other male friends.
The mezcal was going down real smooth, and the next thing you know, something happened. But you've been faithful every other time outside of that. You have cheated, but you're not actively cheating.
Well, I don't think you can answer that question unless you're looking in the windows every night to see who's cheating.
Yeah, there's not going to be an
Well, we're never,
exact answer.
but we're just trying to.
Well, the question is cheating. So if you've cheated once, you've cheated. Just because you stopped, you still cheated.
Right, I'm not arguing that, but like actively cheating, like in a relation, like a guma situation.
Nice guma. You like that?
How do you spell guma?
Saturdays.
That is kind of
wives.
crowdsourcing, but I'll try.
Saturdays is for the wives. Fridays is for the girlfriends.
Goomah.
Guma.
Marvin Florison says Steve's numbers are right. So this is getting confirmed.
I don't think so.
Shrimply Pibbles, who sends pictures of his wife in. Is that considered cheating?
Just to send a picture in? No.
Life hack. You like when somebody sends something?
No, because they're trying to sound superior to the rest of us. Teach us a little lesson. First day of school.
Life hack. Marry someone you genuinely want to be with. Don't just marry the first female willing to stare at your sad turtle, you sad walrus chunk monsters. That's from Shrimply Pibbles.
Gosh.
Which one is Grinder again?
I call it the tradesman's entrance because they are not afraid to go to the hard areas and get a little dirty. It was Gape during the LaRussa era. Yes, that's from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom.
So it's like a loading dock.
Nuevo Rich in West County cheat. Old Money and Ladue have arrangements. That's from Shakira Sanders. I wonder about that second sentence.
There's really this many people unhappy in their marriage?
But what about the Nuevo Rich?
Nouveau Riche.
No. Club Nouveau had Lean on Me in 80.
I don't know the years, Tim.
I'm going to say 87 because I think 88 and 86 are live. And it was Club Nouveau or is it Club Nuevo?
Nuevo,
Chairman's probably better
Nuevo.
on that than I am.
Nuevo means new, right?
Yes.
New money?
This looks like Nouveau.
Nouveau. It's French for nouveau riche.
Yeah.
Newly rich.
What year did you say?
I go 87 to get me 86 and 88. I'm a little worried about 89.
Rest easy, 86.
Well, that was tough. That was not easy.
Won a Grammy.
Did it really?
You did some
Best R&B
tradesman.
song.
You did
Best
some
R&B.
tradesman work there, Tim.
Better believe it.
Great hair on that guy.
Hey, Tim, you think our sponsorship contract got leaked on the TMA Reddit? They saw the clause where you and Welly get to bang out my wife in exchange for reading my texts. Thought we had an NDA on that, or was that a non-solicit? Thanks, that's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. Somebody has accessed the recovering alcoholics advertising contract with Hubbard that specifically calls for, in an addendum, that me and Michael Wellington sleep with his wife, and that's on the TMA Reddit?
And you must do this. Not that you can, but you have to.
That's correct. That's the deal.
We got a stoolie somewhere
right?
amongst our midst.
Regarding Did I Cheat? Ooh, this is Buzz. And he used the RE, so Jackson,
Big
you'll be
fan.
thrilled.
Yeah.
My wife's been really monitoring my porn usage recently. In a weak moment, I kind of fell in love with a woman from Romania and gave her some money to show me her boob.
Oh, yeah.
I was extremely hungover, unbelievably horny, and vulnerable. But you live and you learn. That's from Buzz.
One of these days, you'll tell a story that we actually believe.
And you would pay someone from Romania to see a naked picture when you could make 2 more clicks of the mouse and see unlimited porn?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this nice words. I appreciate it so much.
Is that the gal from Romania right there?
Believe, sir. Yeah, she's right on the line.
Right.
Kelly and Thompson, phone lines. Teachers cheat. My ex-wife cheated and most of her girlfriends cheated. That's from Starfish Street. Teachers cheat. Has anybody heard that? Chairman, I mean, you were an instructor.
I'm going to plead the fifth on this.
Wow. Doug, cryptic.
Well,
yeah,
they tend to be...
I would think where you're on the road a lot, that's where I would think it would be going on. I don't know. I'm so in the dark on this stuff.
But yeah, that's why I said I think I threw the number out one time. Over 50% of athletes cheat.
Athletes.
So I said people.
They certainly have more opportunity
Tim
than
talked
anyone
about
else.
being on the road. So I'm talking. So
well, yeah, but there's plenty of professions in which you have to travel. So I'm not just talking about athletes.
Yeah, but athletes are on. They're on the road half the year, where a sales guy may go out of town once a month.
But it's not just the road that's the dynamic at play there with athletes. You're talking about rich, wealthy young men with women throwing themselves at them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't usually happen to the average salesman on a call to Toledo.
You never know.
Doug, don't be so ignorant. You think people in Afton are happy in their marriages? You think folks living near the Tuckers in South County look forward to their monthly light-off missionary? From Shipley Pibbles.
The Tuckers on South Lindbergh, right there by the mall.
I like their salad dressing.
You do?
Yeah, it's good.
Guys, my wife teaches at an elementary school, and there's an entire swinging community in and around the district made up mostly of just teachers, but some parents too. That's from John Lithgow's Harry Henderson.
Well, it's not cheating. If you're a swinger, you're not cheating.
Again, we're assuming this is true, what he's writing. You could write that sentence pretty easily, couldn't you, without a shred of evidence?
Hold on a second. We got a Chairman Kurt. You just sent in a link here. The top 12 jobs where you're most likely to cheat.
Nice. Let's get this.
Oh, I got to log in. I'm not.
Oh, it's a paywall thing?
Yeah. Do you have it, Chairman?
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
All right.
Okay.
Look at you subscribing.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, now you lost it too.
Yeah, you get it for about 5 seconds, and
Sometimes they give you 4 free articles.
Wilmore Park bathroom attendant wants to know in the YouTube chat if paying for sex is considered cheating.
I'd say it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely it is.
100%.
So if I went home today and told my wife I solicited an escort, and she goes, well, that's not cheating. That's fine.
That's bad cheating. He had to pay for it.
Yeah. That's like the worst form.
Mm-hmm.
Chairman Kurt, you have another link on this?
Yeah, this one should be able to get you in.
Go ahead. Just why don't you share the knowledge? Knowledge is power, I say.
All right, top 10 jobs most likely to cheat.
Start at 10.
Start at 10. Armed forces.
Lousy talked about that military base.
Yeah, that was a tough situation.
Okay.
Number 9, information technology.
IT, Doug.
Number 8, accountancy, banking, and finance.
Just making these things up.
Finance, I could certainly see.
Number 7, property and construction.
So, like, you come over to, like, do a little fixing, and then you do a little fixing.
I've seen that movie.
Colin, let us know. Number 6, engineering and manufacturing.
Oh, for
You're
heaven's
pretty much
sake.
throwing out every job you could
Yes,
possibly
it
have.
is. This is
Well,
something
I mean,
you've
if
got
you-
to come up with an article for the website today.
HD2 Radio is not on here yet.
Yeah, notice that.
Number
Entertainment.
5, hospitality and events management.
Nice.
Number 4, transport and logistics.
See, there's the road part.
Number 3, healthcare. Number 2, teacher and education. And number 1, sales.
There you go, Doug.
Well, those last three encompassed about 90%
Yeah.
of the United States
Those
workforce.
pretty broad terms, you know.
Cheating definitely goes on in wealthy circles. Look no further than Lick's cheating with Sweet Sweet Kai. That's from the Worson Woods Wacko. They're in a relationship? They're sleeping together?
Not to my knowledge.
I don't know.
We're on the list of professions least likely to cheat.
Yeah. Just
Number
look
5,
at us.
Lack of availability.
media and internet.
Yeah, that's not desirable, the women who like money.
No, the options really aren't out there for us.
What if someone asked what do you do and you just said internet?
Some of the people are happy in the marriage but enjoy the hunt, and also some people get off on the hiding of the cheating. That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood.
I would bet in the wealthy areas, the men are much more likely to cheat than the women. Because the men are used to, if they've been very successful, probably used to having their way, feel a little bit invincible, have a lot of power, a lot of money to throw around that can impress somebody. And the women are probably less likely to do that. The women are probably more likely to be very happy with where they are and their lot in life.
I feel like it's probably a pretty even split. Closer than one would think, maybe.
I wouldn't think so. I'd say the CEO of his company is going to have a lot more chances to cheat than the housewife who's staying at home.
Right, but I think the days of that dynamic are less and less each year, where the man is breadwinner, women stays at home. Like, I think that has subsided a little bit.
Well, a little, but I bet that's still the norm in the highly wealthy areas.
Probably.
It's not 100%, of course, but
Sure.
it's probably still the greater majority.
A taco delivery man living in the Wentzville territories is exactly who I'd assume would pay a Romanian to see a singular boob. Doug, that's Alan Dadeville. Big game for him this weekend in Austin.
Well, we don't want to shame Romania.
Bucharest?
It just doesn't seem like you're going to pay anybody to see a picture.
I'm in my 40s, and I know many more women that have cheated than men. That's from Dave.
Well, because he's probably done it with the women and not the men.
I know a guy who cheats, and his rule is make sure she has more money to lose than him. It's in the Worson Woods Wacko.
Okay.
Once you have rules about these things, you're probably a career.
So he has a rule for his cheating.
Or a serial cheater, if you have a set of guidelines, like a code.
And they're probably willing to relax the rules depending on how beautiful the woman is he's ready to cheat with.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to, who is that? Worson Woods Wacko said he knows a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you found let's just say you're single, and you saw a beautiful homeless woman on the side of the street begging for money.
It happens all the time.
Would you let her
Some of
come
the most
home?
beautiful people you see are begging on the street.
Would you offer to let her come home and take a shower and clean up a little bit, make her lunch?
Doug? Sounds like you're having a fantasy over there, aren't you?
Well, I think about it all the time. If you see a homeless guy, what would I do if this woman was gorgeous and just homeless? You wanna come
Let me
home
tell
for
you
a
this:
shower and all?
you're never going to see that.
I saw a lady home. Not saw, but I read an article where this lady was homeless, but she had a Mercedes. She was living in her 450 SL, but she was homeless.
Doug, you're so god dang wrong. It's hurting my ears.
Oh.
You think wealthy women don't have access and the desire to cheat? Half of them are bored, silly, and brag to their girlfriends about it. That's from Hyman the Roth.
Oh, again, I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying it's more likely that the man who's out there working all the time and used to getting his way and has a lot of money and power, I think he's probably more likely to do the cheating. I'm not saying it doesn't happen the other way. I just think that would be more likely.
Well, I agree. He has more opportunity. If you're just a stay-at-home mom, not even a mom, but you stay at home, the husband's got a good job, he's working, you don't really have a chance to go out and meet a lot of people where you can meet a dude and cheat. Where the husband is always out and about and has a chance. You have a better chance as a male.
Yeah.
Doug, I think you're underselling the type of woman that the CEO is marrying. They're going to be cold and loaded to the gills with fillers and an elevated ass, chasing around younger dudes that look like Iggy's dude SGO jail cell. That's from Shrimply Pibbles.
Cherry bomb, smoke bombs with your moms.
I think some of these people are listening too closely to some of the emails and internet stories we read here with an active imagination. Maybe there's a lot more going on than I'm sure there's a lot more
That's
going
the thing. I mean,
than I ever imagined.
You and I would certainly not consider myself an optimist, but I look at it through the lens of I don't know how you get away with it in 2024. I mean, you certainly can try, and then if somebody just kind of is like, yeah, I'm assuming it's going on, I'm not going to, you know. Because even if you track it down, which would be very easy to do, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like the one-off isolated cheating incidents.
Like I was at Napoli.
Sure.
I just gotten the fillers.
Yep. Yeah. This, that, or the other. That might still be popular, but like the idea of like having a wife and a girlfriend, I feel like are long gone. You know,
the Gumas.
Right, and maybe it's like been sensationalized to me by television and movies, but like I just don't see a world in which you could have two relationships coexist and neither of them know about, or certainly the person you're married to not know about it.
Doug's right. It's men. If your wife's cheating, you need to wake up. That's from Todd Reesing.
Well, your marriage is already in trouble if your
I
wife
understand.
suspects you and she's checking your phone to see where you go and wonder where he went last night, wonder where he is. I mean, if she's
But all
already
that
checking-
information is available.
Yeah, but if she's checking it,
I
then
understand.
your marriage is already in trouble.
What I'm saying in general, and I get what you're saying there, but what I'm saying in general is I don't know how you could truly pull it off if you wanted to. Obviously, I guess people are doing it, but I don't know how you could. You know, your phone is a constant radar. You know, so you got that. You can access text messages. You know, if you really want to. So I don't know. But the thing is, once you know, then what do you do? You know, there goes half my cash.
Yeah, I'd be.
And I'll see my kids every other weekend.
Right.
I hope you enjoy, you know, Brio.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like what percentage of cases where people got caught cheating then led to divorce. I would have to think more than 50%.
You think so?
I would have.
That's a nice question. That's a nice question, Bill. What do you think on that,
I think
Doug?
I'd
You've
be
got more perspective on the years. Jackson's in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, probably more than 50. Yeah,
Think so?
Right.
Yeah,
probably so.
Probably more often than not, but that probably under 75%.
I think we'll get to a point where it won't be that big of a deal, where people will say it's more important that we stay together and have two parents for the kids than to get divorced, and both of us struggle in the near term anyway because of it.
Yeah, if I were to if you were to break that down, like the percentage of people who got caught cheating and have kids probably stay together more often than if it's a no child situation.
I don't know what this means, but it's from Mr. Licks, and Doug, he's just a wonderful texter. I can't provide details, obviously, but it's an open secret.
What is?
That was
What is?
We talk about no context text. That makes no sense.
I think it may be in the old money kind of an agreement.
Well, then he's got to put R.
So, like, the wives also get to enjoy rogering? I know I'm asking you, Chairman, like you know. I apologize. I was crowdsourcing right there, I think.
That's fine.
But it was a specific crowdsourcer.
Call in Licks. Actually, don't. JR's coming up.
R.E. Licks, R.E.
Yeah, thank you, Iggy. You're right.
A coworker of mine's ex got pregnant with a cell phone salesman. He kept everything and has full custody of the kids. Think about divorce law like it was a decade ago. Thinking about divorce law like it was a decade ago. This happened in 2020 for reference. A coworker of mine's ex-wife got pregnant with a cell phone salesman.
What does this job have to do with it?
He kept everything. Okay, the guy, the husband, kept everything and has full custody of kids. All right. Okay, so maybe there is incentive to go, hey, I got you.
Well, is Missouri a no-fault divorce state?
It is.
Yes.
So how would he get everything?
I don't know. I mean, maybe this took place in California. Isn't California a different situation? I'm crowdsourcing again 2 times in a minute.
Does no fault mean that it doesn't matter who was at fault? You're still going to split everything? Is that what that basically means?
Essentially, yes. Mr. Lick says the wives.
Again.
Need more than that. Blocking.
Tim is right. I caught my ex-girlfriend cheating about 10 years ago because she had her texts synced to her iPad, one after another flowing in while she was at work.
I'm sure that Apple ID, like a shared Apple ID, has screwed people a lot. I mean, they're.
I mean, if you're using your text,
Yeah,
I mean,
then-
you know what they say, Doug? It goes down in the DMs.
Some people would probably be like even more offended because like it's almost like you're like waving in their face if you do something like that, where like you are texting from your phone and you're synced up Apple IDs where you could easily access a text.
Strap-on 18, the one with the with the cell phone salesman, said it happened in North Carolina.
Okay.
It was not a Missouri.
Tar Heel State.
Yeah, Roy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
As we continue to integrate with AI, our biological needs will go away and women will not need gross men anymore, thus leading to unlimited lesbianism.
Oh,
How about that?
Gosh, I guess it's possible.
That's really odd.
Unlimited.
So I guess Mr. Licks is saying the wives in Ladue have arrangements that they get to Roger other gentlemen?
I don't know about that.
Jackson, did you ever heard of that at Horton Watkins?
I mean, I'm sure there's always been it certainly wasn't like we didn't talk about it in microeconomics. It didn't come up, but I'm sure there was situations where something happened. I've heard some horror stories from families in that area. It's no good, but we were never I never was aware of any arrangements for my friend's parents.
Yeah, it's
not something that comes up when you come.
Question you ask.
Yeah, like you're taking pictures for homecoming at someone's house, and like, hey, by the way,
right,
16-year-old, I sleep with other women.
No fault doesn't mean anything. All you have to do is show your spouse is incompetent enough for custody. It's Lady Sonia's teacup.
Okay.
But cheating doesn't illustrate incompetence, correct? Crowdsourcing third time. I'm out of control right now. I'm out of control. Mr. Licks just texted in undisclosed.
Really good one.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, you keep answering from your first text, which you didn't understand, and now it's getting even worse.
Stay-at-home moms have nothing but time all day to cheat. That's from Tiny Pee-Pee.
Yeah, but if they're staying at home all day, where are they meeting people to cheat with?
Hot yoga.
Hot yoga, and they're meeting other ladies there.
Definitely that, but there's some guys that are in the mix there.
Really?
And those are the guys who are...
I'd go to hot yoga to find a cheating Ladue mom.
Yeah. Would you want to be with a dude that's going to hot yoga?
Yeah, he's limber as can be.
Yeah, what's wrong with hot yoga?
Yeah, probably fat, too.
I don't think there's a lot of fat guys going to hot yoga.
Probably not.
Would you go to hot yoga to lose weight?
No.
Stay in shape.
Stay limber. I don't think that's where the fats don't hang out at hot yoga.
I've never been to a yoga class. I don't know.
Houses of exercise usually are not the home.
Don't say houses.
I like that a lot. Houses of exercise.
Well,
What's that text?
Well, like a yoga studio isn't a gym, but it's certainly a house of exercise.
Don't say house of exercise.
Structure of exercise?
No, not the cheating. You get dirty and expose the little rat of their vices and issues. That's from Lady Sonia's teacup. Doug, so many texts are just, we need the RE that Jackson really...
I would like
Be so nice, like a subject line in an email.
Yeah.
If you would. Just let's keep each other in
The
the
little
loop.
rat. Who's the little rat?
I don't know.
Does that mean his penis?
Someone just messaged me and said I'm right about the hot yoga.
Hot yoga's a hotbed of cheating?
That's what someone told me.
Really?
They asked to remain anonymous.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure they would know.
Well, you don't even know the person who said it. You're
I think
dubious.
I still think it's a lie. I think everybody lies now. I don't care.
I would guess the stories outnumber the actual incidents that occur.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Susie, what'd you do today? I had hot yoga and I had sex with the man who was there.
I already know.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know if it's because you guys are older and may not know all the secrets and ways to hide it, but my generation finds it a lot easier to get away with cheating. I mean, I know girls who have numerous Snapchat accounts, Instagram accounts, etc. Women my age are absolutely terrifying. That's from Little Beer Cats, who's 21 years old, Doug.
Okay. Well, most of them are 21 or not married. So they can fool around all they want.
Sounds like Iggy's not on board with his time.
We're talking about married cheating. You're not married. What are you, 19? Don't worry, you'll have sex one of these days. Hang in there.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Shaming.
Guys, my wife caught me cheating when she went to check on her dad, and he had me in the hucklebuck with a handful of easy anal ass grease.
Oh.
So my shade, my balls for this year.
Oh. What's a hucklebuck?
Very promiscuous listeners.
Yeah, they are horny.
Yeah, a wild group, too.
Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Is it time for wife picks, Buzz? That's from Todd Reesing. Todd Reesing and Buzz are in this wife off.
Yeah.
That goes on in the Schaefer Door Company text inbox. Jeremy Rutherford, brought to you by Mark Hanna, is coming up here. Hey, I'd like to tell people about Mentality, and I got printed out copy. That's why if you watch on YouTube, you get to see when I give the reach around. Feeling like you've lost your edge? If your energy, focus, or drive isn't what it used to be, it's time to get back on track with Mentality Health, your local experts in testosterone replacement therapy. Visit Mentality today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com. Your first step to reclaiming your vitality. If you're feeling tired all the time, it might be more than just stress. Low testosterone could be the issue. If you're struggling to keep off the weight or maintain muscle, testosterone levels could be the culprit. Low testosterone doesn't just affect your body, it can impact your mind too, leading to irritability, anxiety, and even depression. Visit Mentality today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com. Your first step to reclaiming your vitality, it's Mentality. Doug, you know anything about Mark Milton?
I do. If you have any kind of tax problems and you hire Mark Milton, you know what you'll be saying. I'm not guilty. I'm with Milty. That's who he is, Mark Milton. Any kind of tax problem you have, maybe you've got unfiled returns from past years, tax liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, all kinds of nasty things the IRS can throw at you. Well, Mark Milton's the guy you want on your side. He is at stltaxlawyer.com and provides a local and holistic approach to tax resolution. Do not be sucked into the out-of-town tax resolution groups you hear about on TV and radio. You'd like some credentials? Well, Mark Milton started his legal career with the Department of Justice Tax Division in Washington, where he represented the IRS in tax cases throughout the country and even received the DOJ's Outstanding Trial Attorney Award. This guy knows his stuff, and that's why you'll be saying, I'm not guilty. I am with Milty. Mark now helps individuals and small businesses solve their tax problems. If you got a tax problem, mister, you've got a big problem, but Mark Milton can help you out with that. Any kind of IRS issues, contact Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com today. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
There it is, Mark Milton, wonderful sponsor of the program. We'll close out our Fisher Window and Door story at 8 o'clock hour. Jeremy Rutherford in studio with Mark Hanna. Coming up next, then, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It's all coming your way. In the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance, 9 o'clock hour. This is the morning after. Presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
Craving a fiesta for your taste buds? Welcome to Rosalita's Cantina, your ultimate Tex-Mex getaway. Indulge in their mouth-watering tacos, queso-smothered burritos, and the best chips and salsa imaginable. Dine in on their beautiful patio, majestic bar, elegant dining hall, or grab it to go. And don't forget to check out their location at Enterprise Center. No game or concert is complete without nachos and a margarita. Rosalita's Cantina, where the sunshine never ends. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
Listeners ought to check out Collier & Thompson, support the sponsors, and have the best contractors in St. Louis work on your kitchen remodel, if that's what you want, or bathroom remodel, basement, wine room, whatever. Collier & Thompson does it all, and these are people that you can trust. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's not always that common for people in this line of work. They won a Torch Award for Ethics from the Better Business Bureau. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality, online at collierandthompson.com.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Hustle and Heart Sports Performance is the one-stop shop for St. Louis area football-specific and athletic training located in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hustle and Heart utilizes the top trainers in St. Louis, led by its owner, 8-year NFL vet Pierre Desir. We have a 40-yard turf field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, and a state-of-the-art recovery room to service all of your athletes' needs. For more info, check out hustleandheartsportsperformance.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
Thinking about selling your home, but not thrilled about going public? Check out Compass's Private Exclusives with Jeff Lotman. With Private Exclusives, your home is shown to a select group of serious buyers. No public listing, no days on market, just real offers from real people. Their network connects you with top agents and qualified buyers, so your home gets the attention it deserves without all the fuss. Selling your home can be simple and stress-free with Compass Private Exclusives because your home is special. Call Jeff Lotman, your Compass agent today to find out more, or visit the Lotman Group online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com.
Hello, it's me, Tom Schmidt. I'm happy to tell you about Salt and Smoke and all the...
I'm going to let you finish, Tom, but first, why don't you take a break, okay? You've been doing this for 57 years. Have you had time to think about that? Waffle cones, World's Fair? No. Lean brisket, popovers, Cracker Mac, whiskeys, bourbons, custom cocktails, maybe even wings trashed. I don't know. But that doesn't matter if you don't accept my love, Tom. Will you accept my love? Will you kiss me?
Salt and Smoke.
Oh, and Iggy should quit.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. And now you can pick up the TMA Banty Brew at Salt and Smoke or at any area Friar Tuck's location. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at TMASTL.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Welcome back to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. It's the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour. And Doug, you noticed the room just got a little naughtier?
Yeah, I saw him sitting over there. Hello, fellas.
That's Jeremy Rutherford and Mark Hanna.
Good morning.
Oh, that's so seductive. Oh, soft cow. Blood rush.
All that cheating talk, we thought we'd come in and clean it up, right, Mark?
No.
We're going to do our best.
Do you agree with Stephen Wildwood's 30% number?
You know I'm all in on that number. That's absolutely true.
Wow! Doug's horrified.
30%?
Absolutely.
30%?
It's no doubt.
Like at what age group, though?
All across the board.
Oh.
Never stops.
It never stops.
Never stops.
Even like at 85 years old.
Can you imagine? That'd be interesting. Those the villages have got to be ripe with a lot
That wasn't
of
on the list, was it?
Don't you think they could maybe get away with it being like, my memory's slipping like I thought?
Oh, yeah. I'm an old man. I thought it was you.
That's not a bad idea.
I forgot I was married.
Wait, you're not Helen?
You got to have a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, well.
The first text I see is, let me see them pepperoni nips, boy. I don't know who they're talking to, Doug.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. He's about to reveal.
Oh, you're going topless today?
Jeremy Rutherford is in studio. He's brought to you by this gentleman. And what do you think, Mark, that Jackson revealed he likes to work with you because you're tall?
And I have hair.
Look at that head of hair.
Yeah, he's dunking on me right now. I don't like it. It is a pompadour.
I fertilize it. That's the only reason it happens.
Fertilize.
Looks soft.
Mark Hanna sponsors Jeremy Rutherford, and two-part questions come in the Schaefer-Doran text inbox, 314-881. TMA5, Mark Hanna's online at evergreenstl.com. Dougie knows money. He's a life Sherpa, but he's tall. He has a wonderful head of hair and a seductive voice. What else could you ask for?
I don't know.
In financial advice?
Well, you're not going to get it. You can ask for more. You're not going to get it.
Thank you very much. Andy brings us Jeremy Rutherford. JR, disappointing one last night, considering, the little buzz around the building, good road trip to start, and then you got that, and blah.
Yeah, good video, good opening night crowd, and the Blues, as you guys know, watching the game last night, they were all over them kind of early on in terms of putting up shots, just not creating too much, and it just seems like that's been a little bit of the theme for the Blues first 4 games is getting behind by a couple goals, even though there were some controversial plays involved there, and then kind of chasing the game.
What did you think of the controversial plays, the questionable penalty call? Justin Falk was open and transparent about his disagreement with that. The early whistle on Kairu's goal. The Suter goal at the end of the second period, that was pretty clear that was after the buzzer sounded. Your assessment and what you heard from players and Drew Bannister on those?
Yeah, so with the penalty, initially we saw the replay 2 or 3 times, and you see that Toropchenko doesn't touch Faber with the high stick, so you're like, well, this isn't a penalty, and they score on the power play, so you're like, well, Blues got screwed here. But then you back up the tape, Doug, little video, little Channel 4 term there, back up the tape.
Yeah, back up the B-roll.
Strictly Channel 4. No one else uses that terminology.
I can't even say film to my kids. They're like, what are you talking about?
No, yeah, don't say film.
You back it up, and Toropchenko, it was about 3 seconds earlier before that, where he high-sticked Middleton. And so the ref's hand goes up. You see it right away. So that's the penalty that he called. So legit penalty there. So that one I think you probably take back in terms of the Blues get screwed on. But, I think the quick whistle on the Kairu goal.
Yeah.
However, it's referee discretion. If he thinks it's covered up and he thinks the goalie's going to start taking some whacks, then he blows that whistle 9 times out of 10.
But that was a super quick whistle.
It was super quick, yeah. And, there's...
Kind of changed the flow of the game, too.
It did, yeah. And you talked to Jordan Kairu, he felt like he could see it the entire time, so he just get a bad break there.
Yeah, that one made sense to me. As a player, you expect that the goalie is going to be protected, and you can see that he's going down on it, and it's definitely going to be covered. So I didn't have much problem with that. Obviously, you don't like it as a Blues fan, and you know that it's loose, but you can understand where the ref's coming from, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to call that, and you just got to take it and move on.
Yep, and then a bad bounce on the wall there. It looks like Falk's going to get over there and cover that puck up in terms of getting out of the zone, and all of a sudden it's on the stick of the Wild, and they're on a breakaway. So you give up the shorty and add it all up, and they just need to play better. Like, they weren't good defensively, even though they got a lot of shots last night. Didn't get the puck out of the zone, and I wrote about it at the Athletic. Nick Leddy really struggled. He's not the only one. He and Parayko off to a tough start this year.
So there's 2 different ways to look at it. First, number one, it's 4 games, however you want to look at it. 2-2, winning the first 2 with comebacks on the road. I don't think you could have really expected them to win on Friday, and Vegas would have been wonderful, but that wasn't happening after back-to-back nights and then wrapping up the road trip. But in all 4 games, they've been down by 2 goals. That's a pretty damning statistic, and they've fallen behind in 3 of the 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? They had the lead against Vegas with the Buchnevich goal. When you observe that, that's something that's a little... I find that to be eye-opening, even though it's only 4 games in. Your thoughts on falling behind in all games? And yeah, you've come back in 2 of them, and you came back to make it a game in Vegas, but still, that's not a really encouraging trend, I don't think.
Yeah, and I gave him credit in San Jose. He come back from the 4-1. I mean, that just shows the heart of the team there. But big picture, you step back and now you look at this sample size, 4 games. You can say, yeah, small sample size, but I think it's indicative of what we might see from this team this year, guys. Is that the lack of offense? Like, you're getting some early production from Kairu, from Buchnevich, but they're going to need it from a Robert Thomas who hasn't gotten going yet. And when you look at it, yeah, they put up those goals in San Jose and, completed the comeback. But the reason they're falling behind is obviously because they're not converting on their chances. At one point last night, they had way more missed shots than they had actual shots on goal, and I think they finished with 20 missed shots. I really do think that's an issue that we should pay attention to right now is these missed shots. I mean, you saw at the end of the one period, Robert Thomas had one right there in front of the net and put it in Melville, and then a couple other situations.
Oh, hey, home sweet home.
That seems to happen a lot to Thomas. I know he'll dipsy doodle and get around three guys and get right to the goal, and he doesn't have the saucy mitts to finish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's got mitts, but you're right. It does seem to happen a lot with him, especially in front of the net. It feels like it's happened one other time this season. I just can't recall which game it was, but just right in front of the net and flips it high. So I think that's the issue, Tim. And then they're getting behind, and then they're chasing the game. So if you're picking out themes so far for the season, that's one of them.
We take two-part questions with JR in the studio, brought to you by Mark Hanna, EvergreenSTL.com at 314-881-TMA5. JR, serious question. Does Drew Bannister make it to the end of the season? We're 4 games in, the man's tenure.
You lose one game, we may lose the coach, and the franchise could relocate.
There's no flow. The Blues could easily be 0-4. It just doesn't look all that good right now. That's from Harrison's brother, Master.
Yeah, a couple of things. I would think that Bannister makes it through the week, right? Here, a month.
You would hope, yeah.
4 games already. He's got a 2-year deal, and this is a retool. They're still paying Craig Berube. I mean, this is the coach that they want for this situation. So, and especially, there's a group of guys that have been here through a couple coaches now, and so you're not going to make the excuse for them by getting rid of the coach. And in terms of what you see here through 4 games, yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but it's 4 games, right? So I just think you got to give this team some time. One thing to keep in mind is that a lot of new faces. I think last night I counted 5 new guys on the ice from last year. So
it sounds like you're calling for somebody's scalp.
Yeah, who you want out?
Really, their team, you talk about slow starts, new players. They're a team that without that real high-end caliber player on the front lines that has to play a tight system. They have to play together. And looking at these goals that are coming quickly, getting behind, it seems like a team that needs to gel, that needs to figure out how to have that cohesion among all the players in order to be able to overcome the fact that they don't have that high-end talent. They've got tons of mid-level talent, and that can definitely win, but they have to stick together.
Yeah, 100%.
They have to play together.
100%. And what have we been talking about for weeks and months now, that Doug Armstrong went out and added some speed, and this team's faster, they're going to move, but you see the speed, but you don't see that cohesion that he's talking about in terms of being in sync. And I asked Drew Bannister yesterday, hey, can they do a better job of maximizing that speed? And he said, yeah, we need to get out of the zone together and move the puck together, and I think we haven't seen that.
Do you think they need more muckers and plumbers with sandpaper in their game?
Nice. Foxa.
Hey, where did plumbers rank on the group, the job industry that cheats the most?
Oh, yeah, what about that? I don't know if we heard from the plumbers.
They show a lot of crack.
Good with pipes.
And I think that list covered everything, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Healthcare and sales. There's about 90% of America.
There's no job out there that wasn't on that list.
Right.
HD2 Radio. Hey, JR, 2-parter. The warm-up music sucks. The power play dance is still a thing.
Yes.
And the in-game experience is brutal. It's soft. Also, will you bang my wife if Tim allows? Thanks. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. So Doug, that's a 2-parter.
Well, I can't go there with the in-game whatsoever for sure, because I don't believe it. I think they do an incredible job, and my friends are the ones who are in charge of that. So, so I don't want to give them some trouble. And I think that with that second part, I think, will Tim allow? Tim might, but I don't think the wife is going to want to once she gets a gander at me. So,
so you're part of the 70%. Right. That's good. That's good.
How about this? I just got this text to my phone from Michael Wellington. He says, Mark Hanna has the best on-air voice in the history of TMA. I mean, that, sir, is the ultimate compliment.
Thank you. I'm out.
That's it. That's how he's going to end it right there.
John Facenda.
That's how he's going to end it. JR, how far into a season does it usually take for you to have a strong sense of where they're headed? Hockey fans seem to freak out early. Second, have you ever shown a pic of yourself in a mankini to the players, to get some traction in in That's from Arbor Day.
23 games. 23 games.
23 games. That's like claims and Flag Day.
Yeah. Groundhog Day is where I look at. It seems like Groundhog Day after 23 games with some teams. So, No, I think that you got to give him 20 plus games.
Yeah, but the Mankini thing, you don't go around with your
We're
phone.
skipping straight to this?
And show pictures of yourself, scantily clad.
I actually
for more
have
access.
before, yeah. Not to the guys, but you guys talking about those hockey tournaments, out-of-town hockey tournaments? Yeah, so...
Let's stay on this for a while. Go ahead.
Those are known for, a few beers out in the hallway, right? And sometimes it can lead to, scantily clad pictures. And may or may not be a picture out there where I have a cowboy hat covering up.
Oh! I'll be right back. Comebacks are tough to sustain throughout a season. Second part, do you think Doug will come back and fetch his journalism ring he left in my butt last night? All right, right there.
They don't
I think
give
that
you
was
rings.
His Cave Ride Magic, man. JR, the season will not be the players or coaches' fault. It's the guy who assembled this awful roster, nearly a cap team without a star, even a top pair defenseman. Part 2, what color boy panties you got on? Thanks, that's in the 314. Doug, these are two-part questions.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to disagree with somebody who says it's the roster, right? We've been writing that for a couple years. But I do think it's a situation where once the mistakes are made, you have to fix it, right? So we can't sit here and talk about the mistakes while they're trying to be fixed. And I thought Tom Stillman gave a pretty good answer yesterday when talking about spending to the cap. It sounds crazy, for a team that might not make the playoffs and you're spending $80 million. But some of that money was spent on players that they're hoping will be the answer, like a Broberg, like a Holloway. Move those guys forward. And I think I have Aqua on underneath.
I can vouch for that.
And Mark can confirm. Mark can confirm.
Well, what have you seen of Broberg and Holloway? You like them so far? Do they look like they're going to make a difference?
I think so. I mean, 6'4", 212, left shot defenseman, slide them in there, and now shoot with the way Letty's playing, Broberg could jump up to that top pair. So
Yeah, what do you make of the situation there? I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but what do you think about the Letty situation here?
Yeah.
And again, 4 games. But
Well, a couple years ago, he had a great playoff against Minnesota. He can skate, so he can cover a lot of those top guys. But I think the view outside of St. Louis is this guy is absolutely not a top pair guy, and if he's in your top pair, then you're going to struggle. So for sure, yeah, he should be a second or third pair guy. I think. But the Blues haven't had anybody that could pop in there with Colton Parayko. So,
that's where Broberg comes in.
That's
I
where he
always
comes
thought
in.
that's where the advantage is. He doesn't have a whole lot of playing time, but it takes defensemen so long to mature. So if he can elevate to become a top pair defenseman, it really sets up everything 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down from there, that you can move Letty down to a 4 or 5, which he's really well suited for that role.
Number 1, they going to put Keenan behind the bench soon since they let the damn goalies score on him?
Oh.
And number 2, is there a direct correlation between West County housewife failed multi-level marketing, quote-unquote, businesses and cheating on their spouses? That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener, Doug.
Okay. But the question wasn't for me, was it?
but he's Hall of Fame texter, and I know you appreciate his work.
Yes, I think he's a Hall of Fame.
Keenan, I hope not. Yeah, I mean,
that'd make life challenging.
Yeah, that'd be a little difficult. Yeah.
The Blues don't have any future Hall of Famers on the roster now, do they?
I don't think so now. I mean,
Doesn't look like
no, you had Pietrangelo, who I think could be, but that was probably the last one. Yeah.
Mm.
How about Keenan? He did the Strick and Cam and Strick podcast, a couple days ago?
Oh, did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Still talking about...
Jackson, you're nodding like you knew that?
It was in my YouTube suggested feed.
Oh, how about that?
What's he doing these days?
Next to all the NBA.
What does he do now?
Who's he irritating these days?
Exactly.
is the
Probably
real
everybody who he talks. But he's still bringing up the fact that ownership management wanted him to trade Shanahan, Hull, and McInnes. Like, when are we going to let that go?
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to trade those three?
Hey, JR, which Blues coach was the most hung? Also, not really a question, but Brandon Saad. Kind of forgot that guy even existed. I'll be damned. Thanks. That's Alan Dadeville. Tough one for him this weekend in Austin, Texas, Doug.
Yeah, well, the Athletic has never asked me to do any measurements at the building, at the
awkward
arena.
if they
Yeah,
do.
so I haven't had to do that. And what was that? I always ask you, what was this? These two-parters.
They're tough, aren't they?
Yeah, you got to really focus.
You just had forgotten that Brandon Saad existed.
Yeah.
Could I sponsor that measurement article?
Yeah, what about that?
Anyway, next question.
Yeah.
Hey, JR, do you think Snuggie will be an impact player? I think Dvorsky's overrated and tops out as a middle six center. He doesn't have the foot speed. Also, did you ever get a chance to smell Harold Snep's mustache? That hand to have at least 10 pounds of boy seed hiding in there?
Oh, come on.
That's from the Little Dutch Boy. Yeah, you know the Little Dutch Boy.
Harold Schneps has been gone for, 40 years? 50?
Longer than that. Never got a chance to smell that, no.
Yeah.
What do you think about Jimmy Snipes and
Jackson's guy, Dalibor Dvorsky.
Yeah, Snuggerud, I've watched him. He's got the shot for sure. They talk about his skating too. It seems like that's the case with a lot of these young guys. Sometimes they're skating. So Dvorsky and Snuggerud, two guys they've talked about, the slow foot speed. But Snuggerud, if he can get position, he can rip it. So, I think he's a top 6 type player, and we'll see if the Blues get him at the end of the year after his Minnesota season. And with Dvorsky, I think he does so many things well. The puck protection, holding it, composure, poise, all that stuff. But yeah, he's got to improve the skating too, and just get used to that pace in the NHL.
What if you put those two together with Gino Cavallini? You could really create a line.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll call Gino here today.
Was the last goal considered a power play goal? Is that a first? It was initially, right? Is it still confirmed as a power play goal?
Yeah, power play goal, and the 15th goalie goal in NHL history.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I liked how the goalie Gustafson went over and did the high five on the,
on the bench,
like all the goal scorers do.
He bumped the fist, and I guess Marc-Andre Fleury, when they went over for the Blues, called a timeout, right? So Minnesota went to the bench. The goalie did too, and Fleury told Gustafson, "Come on, 2-goal lead. You don't have to worry about the icing. Let's go for it."
Mm-hmm.
Fire away. JR, this season, this goes back to Armstrong and the roster. I'm just not in that spot that I'm concerned that this is going to be a disastrous season. The season that was a real disaster 2 years ago had the streaks to start, long losing streak, winning streak, losing streak. I realize it's 4 games. Are you concerned that this thing might be trending in a poor direction?
I don't think it looks great, but I don't think we're there yet. I know 4 games. I don't think we're going to be there in a couple weeks. I think it's going to play out. It's going to take longer to see what this team looks like. But yeah, I remember 2 years ago, Tim, you're driving out to Centene and you get the text from PR, Doug Armstrong is going to talk today. What?
Yeah.
What's he going to talk about? Oh, they lost a few in a row. And then you get there and he's already had the team meeting with the players. He talked to the coach. Now he's talking to the media. We're going to get this thing turned around. And that was the first chat he had with the media and the players. He had another one a couple weeks later. So that was definitely a tougher season, I think, than what we'll see this year.
Yeah, they got the Isle coming to town tomorrow, and see if they can avoid a 2-goal deficit for the first time this season. That's a concerning statistic to me. I don't know, but I hope it's just an outlier. Jeremy Rutherford, brought to you by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. JR, thank you so much for coming in studio.
Thank you, Mark.
In studio, too.
He says he's wearing aqua Utro.
Yeah, aqua Utro. Well, Mark did, and then JR.
Well, I'm just feeling bad because I guess I do have the plumber's crack going because Mark says he can see, so he can confirm the aqua.
God, isn't that hot?
Are you looking at that right now?
I've got a great angle over here.
Oh, I like it. That's JR, brought to you by Mark Hanna every Wednesday here on TMA. You are welcome to get involved. Schaefer Door Company, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Email in. Our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today comes your way in about, I would say 17 minutes. And then Jackson and I will go down the hallway, and they will not be happy with us there, Doug, because Jackson was eating Szechuan last night and not watching the Blues game.
Oh,
correct.
You had sushi.
No.
Szechuan. Instead of watching Blues hockey home.
He said he was going to tell the owner of the Chinese restaurant to put the Blues game on.
Yeah.
But I guess you didn't do that, or he just wasn't willing.
That might have been a pipe dream because by the time I got in there, it wasn't like American television was playing.
What was on?
Chinese television.
Asian American.
You can get that here?
I don't know what the situation is. It's probably a streaming situation, but it did not seem like that move was going to be.
They don't watch a lot of Blues hockey in Chinese
I just didn't. I didn't get the vibe, and so instead I just decided to be present with my friends and enjoy a delicious dinner.
And you dined with Sweet Kai, Herb, and Oatmeal.
Oatmeal was there.
Yes.
Frog Dad, Private Citizen Pete.
How about that, Doug?
How'd somebody get the nickname Frog Dad?
Well, his nickname is the Dog Dad, but I just started calling him Frog Dad.
How about that?
Okay.
Good guy. Great mustache.
Well, how did he get to be Dog Dad?
Loves dogs.
Oh. All right. Well, they only play one home opener a year, and the fact that you kind of blew it off is...
Thank you.
It's disappointing. We have the Blues flagship station just right down the hallway.
Matter of fact,
you're more interested
in program on it.
Egg Foo Young, I guess that's
no.
your business.
No. Cumin beef, delicious.
Doug Melkiper just posted his latest mock draft.
Okay. And our question is, where's Luther Burden going?
16, Broncos, but
Shador Sanders goes number 1.
Oh, come on.
And Travis Hunter goes number 2. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo,
Really?
Buffalo. Here we go. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. Here we go. Yeah, back to back.
I don't know. I think Shador is good. I think he's really good. He might be the first quarterback taken off the board, but I don't know if he'll be 1 overall.
Next time, go to an American bar and grill and eat an American hamburger and watch some American sports during a home opener.
That makes sense to me.
Wouldn't make sense to me. Hockey's a Canadian sport.
And an American sport. We had original 6 teams.
Sure, but I mean, was it not started in Canada?
I don't know where it started, but it's been in America for 100 years.
But I watch a sport that was invented in America, and I'm called un-American.
It's interesting, Doug. You makes a good
weird.
point.
It is weird.
Schaefer Door Company's not weird. They sponsor the text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. You know anything about Schaefer Door Company? Got any information?
Yes, they would open the door for you to become a hockey fan if you could stay out of the Chinese restaurants. That's kind of their big marketing push right now. Come, let us open the doors for you at Schaefer Door. Maybe you have a problem over the weekend. Statistically, that seems to be when most garage doors go bad. I don't know why. I guess you use it more on the weekend. But Schaefer Door is known for having that Monday morning standby service for those doors that break over the weekend. You get out there Monday morning and say, hey, the garage door is not going up. What'll I do? What will I do? You call Schaefer Door. And it's SCHAEFER. And the phone number, here it is. You go ahead and write it down. 636-782-3608. And their website is SchaeferDoor.com. I think you can find that there. They service all kinds of doors. Your small door on your house, or if you own a business or warehouse with those big giant doors, yes, Schaefer Door is experienced in those as well. They service doors of any make or model. They do new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage doors are strong, quiet, and versatile. That's what you're going to want if you need an entirely new door. I didn't need an entirely new door when they came out. Two different guys came out and said, you don't need a door, you need a strut. So I got a strut. Whether that's a LiftMaster strut or not, I'll go back and check. I don't have that information. You're crowdsourcing me now, bro. I don't know.
You were just talking in italics.
Yeah. All I know is they came out and they fixed my door and they did it real nice like. That's SchaeferDoor.com. Big enough to get any job done, small enough to talk with a person. When you call them on the phone, they'll have somebody right there to walk you through the whole process. Service techs are not commission-based. They're not going to try to sell you something you don't want. I didn't want a whole new door. I didn't get it. All I got was a little strut. I got a strut and fixed everything that I have. That's SchaeferDoor.com. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
There it is, Schaefer Door, sponsor here on TMA, sponsor the text inbox. And you're welcome to call in the Callier and Thompson phone line, 636-9004-TMA, and email in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, about 15 minutes away. And then Jackson and I go down the hallway, and we'll be fine. It's fine. It's just part of the. It's just part of the deal.
I know.
But they'll be
deal with it.
They'll be calling for heads. Hey, Doug, we talked about that Jerry Jones audio. He's on the 105.3 The Fan every Tuesday in Dallas. You got the ticket in Dallas. You got 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. He's on The Fan, and they had a tough loss to the Lions on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Ripped them apart.
Bye week. And Jerry Jones does his hit, and it didn't go well for the hosts of the program.
How badly did it go? Wish we had some audio.
It's a little bit longer clip, just heads up.
Okay.
Jerry, 1970, a little different from this past off season in building the team we're talking about today, which there was a lot of criticism that you guys didn't add, didn't spend, and don't add, and don't spend, and are not aggressive enough with some of the problems that are still haunting the Cowboys today that we see play out on the field. That's the point of talking about the offseason.
Oh, I remember those criticisms very well. Okay, so what?
Are they playing out to be accurate?
What's your point?
Seems like my
Listen, let me tell you what I'll do. Let me tell you what I'll do about it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there this morning. I'm not. And I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me, to talk about, this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask
You'll
why.
get a job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights?
Well,
now, listen, we both know we're talking to a lot of great fans and a lot of great listeners. And I am very sorry for what happened out there Sunday. I'm sick about what happened Sunday. Now, I'm not talking to these yahoos on the end of this phone. I'm talking to you, the fans that are listening this morning. And we can spend a lot of time going over zigging and zagging. So let's just go ahead. I'm trying to answer your questions, man. You want some conversation this morning? You're getting it.
There you go. Dougie threatened to have him removed and have somebody come else.
I dislike that guy so much.
Maybe he owns the station.
It's the Cowboys radio station.
It's their affiliate.
Yeah.
But he doesn't own the station, does he?
No. Not to my knowledge. I don't even know if that would be allowed. I don't know.
I'm sure it'd be allowed.
The Cardinals own KTRS.
No, it's the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Did I mishear the beginning of the question? Something about 1970?
That part. It was such a long clip.
It's owned by Odyssey, which used to be Entercom, which locally used to be CBS Radio.
Jerry Jones didn't own the team in 1970.
I had to cut out some part of that. Don't pay attention. That's unimportant. Like, it was just such a long clip. I had to cut some parts. He made the joke about, I could tell you what I did wrong in 1970, and then the guy just picks up on that.
Yeah.
That part's unimportant.
Guys, Jerry must be enrolled in the St. Louis Cardinals School of Lack of Accountability. That's my gaping stepdad.
I mean, basically, it's like I'll put in the people I want asking my questions. It's just like,
if it
he's
is
such a control freak, he has to be the GM and the owner. And
if it's the flagship station of the team, you kind of expect to have more of a friendly crowd talking with you. I can understand the pointed questions. I mean, that's fair and that's legitimate journalism, if you want to call it that. But when you call into your own station that you're in partnership with for the games, you'd kind of like to have a friendlier conversation.
But it'd be one thing if they were taking personal shots at him, but to critique what's going on in the field, that is their job.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least part of their job, and they definitely don't need to be told that you're going to get fired because you asked a question I didn't like.
Yeah.
I absolutely did not hear anything wrong in either way. It, to me, tells you a lot about the character of the guy for the manner with which, you don't like the way that, I answer your question, then I'm going to have you taken out.
Right.
I mean, that's
like state media. It's ridiculous.
That's exactly right.
It's ridiculous.
He's an old man who's lost his filter and has no patience for anything anymore unless you kiss his feet, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's been like that. And like I said, he's so controlling. And so something like that is, when you encapsulate it all, is just part of another chapter in the story of dislike Jerry Jones.
He's asking, can you fix any of these problems that your team has looked like crap? You give him all these points, not scoring a lot of points, and maybe if you came out and asked one simple question, would be a little bad. If you said, "Are you really upset that you made a mistake of giving all that money to Dak Prescott?" I mean, then you don't ask a question like that. But I'll ask him, is there things you can fix and what mistakes have been made? I'm sure the coach goes in and knows what mistakes they made and they're trying to work on it, so why is it a big deal to ask him?
Well, didn't the guy ask him if they are spending money like they should? Because they spend a ton of money, don't they? They spend right
Prescott,
to the cap, I'm
Lamb.
sure.
CeeDee Lamb, but I think other players, like they're talking about.
I think one of the big issues in Dallas, I could be off the mark on this, but is that Derrick Henry was out there, and instead now, Doug, you have Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott toting the pigskin. Is that what they do? They
tote the rock.
Late period Zeke too, so he wasn't really great when he was mid period. But and they're kind of asking. They're like, well, there was a lot of concerns in the off season, and fans don't feel like they were addressed, and now it seems like it's coming to fruition. Is that your interpretation of what you're seeing? Like, it's not a crazy question. It's all the questions about on the field stuff or GM stuff. It's nothing about like, hey Jerry, like you personally, or like it's a question you would ask a GM.
Mm-hmm. That Lions team is good though. Did I read they have 7 St. Louisans on that team?
On which team?
On the
Lions?
Lions?
That sounds right, yeah.
That's kind of a
Shout out to
Nice.
Jack.
fun team to root for.
I already adopted him anyway.
Yeah, shout out to Jack Fox, my guy.
That running back, I didn't know this, and I think I read it, that the running back
They have two.
for
Which
the
one?
Bills that filled in for Cook went to SLU,
Ray Thomas.
or the other one. There were two that filled in for Cook. One had a good game.
Ray Davis, maybe I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
Davis. I think I said Davis went to SLU.
They said what high school he went to on the broadcast?
I read it somewhere on Facebook. Somebody was talking about the game and said, I didn't know that running back went to SLU University.
Well, they didn't even have football at school.
This gentleman went to high school in Trinity Pauling in New York, Ray Davis.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
But SLU doesn't have a football team.
Where did Greg Kornfeld coach, Doug?
Well,
You
now
said
that's
St.
high
Louis
school.
University.
I thought I said SLU High School.
I think at one time you said that, and the next time you said St. Louis University, but I was with you. I'm not aware.
Now, St. Louis University was the location of the first forward pass.
Oh, really?
They're given credit for having the first forward pass in college football, back when they did have a team, way back when.
Okay, Jackie Lib, you hate the guy because he doesn't want to roll over and take it from a couple twinks behind a mic? Come on now, stick to the dribbles. That's from Flocky the Spur.
That was the least nuanced opinion I've ever heard in my life.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a Twitter take from some guy with a Simpsons avatar.
Simpsons avatar.
Yeah.
Is that the new dog avatar?
It's cartoon avatars are real big.
Is that right?
Yeah, with the lowlifes.
The lowlifes.
Gosh.
Frank Gore Jr. is on the Bills. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
they
that.
activated him before that game on Monday night. I know that.
Crazy.
Oh, he read it on Facebook. Makes sense. Harrison's brother Master.
Well, not everything on Facebook is fake. It was a real person who was a friend of mine, and he put that up there, and I said, oh, I'll ask Tim. And I forgot.
It's possible.
Yeah, they've turned out some
I
players.
forgot which one he was talking about. 'cause
I think there was a guy in the secondary for the Jets who went to St. Louis U High. Again with the Facebook reporting! It's from Dave Hay.
God.
Iggy thinks Facebook's gospel. That's from Bobby Wagon.
I didn't say it was gospel. I said I read it. Why would somebody make that up?
Gosh, I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to get on the day and make something up and say that guy went to SLU. That'll get him.
All right, yeah, Tony Adams went to
He's with the
U-High
Jets,
with
right?
the Jets, yeah. Then you have Teron Armstead. He went to Cahokia. Zeke, obviously. Jack Fox from Ladue. Samuel Porter from Highland. Michael Neese is an lineman who went to U-High for Detroit. Another John Burrows is a middle linebacker in Jacksonville.
Ty Johnson was the other back on Monday night for the Bills. He is from Maryland.
Iggy, there's a guy from the late 80s, early 90s that was a SLU High player that ended up getting drafted by the Bills.
Henry Jones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just pursued. I not pursued.
Tim, I think the only thing that kept you from
I'm trying to think of the word where you just kind of peruse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing.
I just kind of.
What was the only thing?
The only thing that kept you from being out of the NFL was getting cut as a freshman from a no-cut sport.
Thank you.
If they'd have just given you a shot, you'd have been returning
Politics.
You'd have been returning kicks, or
Still at 48
as a wide
too.
receiver. Yeah, they wouldn't have slowed you down.
If I were to return a kick in the NFL before they adjusted the kickoff, so like 7 years ago, and then just come shooting ahead at a $155, $153 this morning, just a tight body. I think my body would have just like exploded right around the, probably around the 10-yard line, because I wouldn't have gotten to the 20.
Hunks of flesh flying everywhere.
That's right, and a fleshlight.
Stop being humble. You know you run it back.
Thank you. I want to try to be self-deprecating to get the compliment. Do I look fat in this dress?
No.
You can tell Drinkowitz that.
There's no in Drinkwitz.
If he wants to build his brand, that Tim still has a little eligibility left at Mizzou.
That is true, 8 hours.
You could go back at that 8 hours and go out for the football team and just
That's
sign
true.
you, sit on the sidelines, and
Technically, you'd probably have 4 years of eligibility.
I should go back there.
Chris Winkie.
It used to be once you started, a 5-year clock started. You had to get it all in 5 years. I don't know if that's
that
still
rules,
the rule.
yeah, changed with redshirting and COVID year. I mean, we got Cam Rising, who's eligible to play an 8th season of college football.
Good follow on Facebook is St. Louis Bar Babes. There you go, Iggy. That's from Stephen Wildwood.
no thank you. I see enough of them. I see a post every day from top shooters.
Oh, do you?
Good luck, babe.
And I would suggest if you're into people that work at bars being hot, go to top shooters.
Okay, top shooters is where now?
Yola.
Columbia, Illinois.
Jackson just said Yola.
No, they have some fine ones out there. My friend Shannon.
Rocket ships?
They got some rocket ships out there.
Better there or at Dr. Biondo's office?
I haven't been to Dr. Biondo's in a while.
Okay. Payola.
You brought it up. I didn't.
You're the one that brought
You
the
brought
top
top shooters and all the beautiful women.
We bring up so many people that aren't sponsors on this show. They should be.
It's on them.
Oh, Charcoal House
It's
is
a redirect of all time.
That put Charcoal House on the map.
Remember their ball
I take
pit?
that back. They're on 101 ESPN, I think. So they're at least spending money.
Charcoal
on the
House
station.
is?
I think somebody told me that 101 ESPN is or has some spots with Charcoal House.
Libby Jack has a Ukrainian flag as his avatar. It's from Crystal City Claymore. Is that true? You have a
No,
Ukrainian?
it's Jake Gunsel. There's a picture of Jake Gunsel who looks just like me. That's my Twitter Avi.
We've covered all of our live endorsements.
Indeed,
today, haven't we? Indeed. Jackson, let people know what's coming up in about 9 minutes on 101 ESPN because, Doug, you won't believe what the smorgasbord, the banquet Jackson has prepared for the audience on 101 ESPN.
I'd like to hear the menu.
It's a wide berth Wednesday.
Yep.
So we'll spend some time talking about the Blues game from last evening. I have some bigger picture questions about coaching in front offices.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that topic where we talked about worst losses. I want to know what the consensus worst loss for some St. Louis fans are.
Well, I mean, we got to set a date. We got to set a date.
I think there's generational worst losses for St. Louis. Like, so people in their 40s and 50s, people in their 20s and 30s.
So 40s and 50s, I would say 85 World Series.
Right.
Doug, what do you think for like people in their 60s? Would it be that 68 World Series?
As what now?
The worst loss? Is that what you're saying, Jackson?
Yeah, like the one that stings the most.
Yeah, 68 or 85.
Right, and I got some more questions in that regard. And then I like this article on The Athletic about some college football teams and kind of do a buy or sell stock segment on some of these football teams.
Oh, nice.
So all of that and more coming up on Balloon Party today.
Wide berth Wednesday, Doug.
Boy, it's a wide berth.
That's a
you
wide
can talk
spot.
about just about anything with
You're
that kind
right.
of berth.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. Oh, Bluck Swope with the lead. I was creaming when I wrote this, so sue me if I go too fast. Email of the day is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. I think Tim should be able to cut his sleeves for next year's J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. And we have a legal precedent set. Ted Big Kluszewski?
Ted Kluszewski.
The reason being they constrict his enormous biceps and shoulders and limit his ability to swing a club freely. But this email's about cheating and getting caught. It was bound to happen. I'm in sales, and he's a teacher of sex, that is. He's married. I'm engaged. So we have been really careful, heads on a swivel. So imagine our dismay when we bought a non-linear junction detector. Turns out my future wife has my boyfriend's convertible LeBaron bugged with a camera, busted, and then my mind started racing. She's got it all, the anal, the multiple crowdsourcing strap-on sex, the hiding the sausage games, the ass-to-mouth, the money shots, and that fudge monkeying in Fuddruckers' abandoned parking lot last night.
Oh.
That's from Safanda, and then her last name is Peters.
Safanda Peter.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You guys can hear someone releasing last night's digested dinner into the toilet in a restroom 20 feet away. You want me to believe that you guys can hear an unseen stranger farting in another room, but you can't hear the constant high-pitched nose whistles or perpetual throat clearing. An expiring senior citizen is literally hyperventilating directly into the microphone like an asthmatic hyena who lost his inhaler. But you focus on the faint sounds of a toilet flushing in another room. Wonderful. Furthermore, you guys chose to analyze the sound of excrement leaving your unknown coworker's bowels, yet my email, which focused on the same topic, was filtered yesterday.
Oh.
Why? Is it because my correspondence contained the phrase, ooey gooey butt mud? Just this morning, the breather proposed a brilliant idea to put a microphone in the company restroom so he could talk to Hubbard employees as they gave birth to a brown butt baby. Yet somehow my email was too graphic. Maybe tomorrow I'll keep it clean and write about the timely topic of 1940s barbershop law. Or maybe I'll tackle a hard-hitting question like, when did bands start putting the word "the" in their names? Thanks, that's the JV golf coach.
Oh. The JV golf coach.
The spacious men's lounge of the Fabulous Fox reverberated with the sounds of sucking. Sturgill Simpson brings out the best of the worst of St. Louis. Nuevo?
Boucher?
Fat men.
Oh, Nouveau.
New fat man.
It was a target-rich environment for sure. I landed my flannel-clad man-ass by offering free trucker hat cleaning in exchange for back rubs. And you know what back rubs lead to? Yep, unenthusiastic, soulless mouth jobs.
Oh.
And I got a couple, 3 of them last night. You like that? I got a couple, 3 of
I
them.
like it. Yeah, old school talk.
I feel bad for the cleaning crew of the Fox as I got my seed all over the wall hangings. I Eiffel towered with some twink in a blazer and white glasses after the set. What he lacked in inches, he made up for with vigor and flair. Some Fupa Dancha.
Fupa Dancha.
Fupa Dancha.
Fupa Doncic.
So far, Doug, what are the 3 poop stories you like the best?
No, I don't care for poop stories.
Hi, guys. What I learned today. Iggy furiously masturbates at the thought of homeless women getting showered up and suddenly being a supermodel and sleeping with him. Also, only fat men go to hot yoga. Yesterday, I learned that Iggy had picked up a sponsorship from a woman's coat company. Big week for me, and it's only Wednesday. That's from Beer Cats.
Beer Cats having a big week.
The sponsorship today from a women's coat company.
It's that coat you wore yesterday.
It wasn't a woman's coat.
I'm not going to be much good to you this morning night after watching the Blues lay an egg in the home opener and allowing the opposing goalie, Gustafsson, to score a goal. Just kidding. I missed the entire game as I witnessed Sturgill Simpson burn down the Fox. Yeah, it sucks they had to move Wednesday night's show to the Family Arena where Almost Kiss once played in front of a few dozen friends and relatives. Just kidding, there were no friends, but Sturgill did put on a great show, including a stellar cover of Johnny B. Good, paying homage to St. Louis native rock and roll pioneer and noted water sports enthusiast Chuck Berry. Chuck, it's Marvin, your cousin, Marvin Berry. Wonderful. It's interesting how Libby Jack is suddenly all concerned about enforcing the rules on Listener of the Month, considering he allowed a guy producing the show to win in March.
Unbeknownst.
Might need to do a Swopes Pins to find out what exactly KG put on his application and determine if Jackson was hoodwinked twice or was he secretly in on the joke while publicly feigning ignorance. Not sure when the next sode will drop. I've got a couple that are in development, but it's not necessarily at the top of my list of priorities. Pull it together, boy, pull it together, boy, pull it together, boy, pull it together, boy. So, yeah, I guess we're done talking barbershop law. Turns out he might be right about barbershops in the city having to be closed by 6:30. Just a quick Google search for barbershops within the city limits shows they all seem to close at 6 p.m. Mind you, that doesn't apply to the county. Jack of all fades on the Rock Road, for example, is open till 7.
Jack of all fades.
Yeah, go by there every time you go to Normandy. It's right there.
Apparently, the law dates the 1940s, which wouldn't have been a racial thing back then. Yeah, those African-American ball players were playing exclusively in the Negro Leagues until 1947 by choice. Jesus!
Oh.
It's from Buck Swope.
Buck Swope. Nice little email, Bucky.
Morning, hell of a segment on rotation you have there on the TMA. Damn it, adding this 25-minute call from Larry discussing wrestling is a stretch all day app. 20 years of content and someone over there signed off on playing a segment of Larry having to yell over the Game Show Network. Breaking down a wrestling match that is coming up in 3 weeks that everyone tirelessly pretends to care about. And that's just kind of all it was. Nothing particularly funny, informative, or groundbreaking. Voila! It's best of. Anyways, when you say breeding feral cats in a one-bed, one-bath, controlled tent while hosting a WrestleMania watch party as Hoosier, warm regards, that's from the apartment-dwelling pet squirrel enthusiast. Don't tell Gangster Pete I don't want his vermin control team knocking on my door while I'm cranking my Strode node. And Doug, that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. What you got?
The last guy was named the apartment-dwelling enthusiast?
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't a bad email. Today, even though he got it kind of dirty, I thought the JV golf coach had the best email.
I wasn't even going to vote until the last one came in, so I'm going to go with the squirrel enthusiast.
What do you mean you weren't going to vote?
They weren't worth voting for.
Oh. Well, we have to vote for something.
Oh, I let Jackson take my vote because it's embarrassing to vote for any of those. The last one was pretty good. I'll go with
I'm going with Buck Swope. I love the Jack of all fades reference.
Wow, that was a wonderful reference. I agree with Doug. JV Golf.
JV Golf coaches, what
Congratulations.
unbelievable. Jackson, does that mean he's just tied Buck Swope?
Yes.
We got ourselves a showdown on a Sunday afternoon at Augusta National.
We sure have. Boy, this will be fun to see how this.
It is going to be fun. You're exactly
Kevin
right.
Miller's just kind of faded away, hasn't he?
Yeah, he won, and then he took a month off, I guess.
He's emailing. They just aren't good. He's got no wins this month.
Okay, easy on him. He's older.
Put some effort into it.
Well, today he was in his Savant de Peters.
That's correct. Hey, it's time for Jackson and I go down the hallway and deal with it. Switch your 101 ESPN or 101 ESPN YouTube channel or the streaming app, wherever the hell you're listed. I don't know. Where do people listen the most, you think? Probably radio on 101, if I had to guess. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's 1 and 2 are live, either streaming or radio, and then 2 podcasts.
Okay, there it is, Doug. There's
All
Jackson's breakdown.
Nice little breakdown.
For Jackson Bennett, Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Doug the Sullivan Vaughn, I'm Tim McCurdy. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
TMA brings you the 3rd annual TMA Trivia Night, Friday, November 15th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30. All kinds of trivia, including sports, entertainment, St. Louis-centric, TMA